You hear Roscoe's muffled voice from inside going, I seem to be stuck. Roscoe, I need a dexterity check with disadvantage to see if you can get out of the drinks cupboard. Which you've somehow managed to shut yourself in.
Check with disadvantage, you say?
Yep.
Can I try to pick the door to the lock on his door?
We'll let you get there in a second if you can't get out. It's a 7. Yeah, no, you're stuck. Hello and welcome along to episode 4 of the second chapter of Good Sogravia. I'm glad to have you here. Today our players will be arriving in Justern. So with no further ado, playing with me today I have Jamal.
Hiya. I'm out here playing Roscoe. Trickstery, cleric-y type.
Okay, I have playing with me Akai.
Hi, I play Val, the singer wizard.
I have playing with me Darth.
Hi, I'm Darth. I play Gideon. I keep doing that. Glacius Frostborn. I'm the Dragonborn Barbarian.
And today, it's alright. And almost always, every time you say I'm playing Glacius, I then go, and now I have Gideon playing, but I don't. I have Evan.
Hello, I'm the real Gideon, and I am an ASMR life cleric.
Yeah, but are you
Pleasure
slim?
to meet you again.
But are you
Sorry?
slim? Are you the real slim Gideon? That's more important.
I am the real Slim Gideon.
Fantastic. Welcome along, guys.
He's an imposter.
standing
Don't
up.
believe him.
Today, who I do not have with me is Doctor. Unfortunately, you will see him missing from the screen. Slicer is having some things going on this week. He did also drop from our Cassiopeia campaign last night, sadly. But he will be returning to Good Sogravia. We look forward to seeing him next week and wish him the best with what's going on before him. You may also see on the screen Kyo. Kyo is an NPC. It is voiced by me and played by Glacius. So, we left off last episode having eradicated evil, including the evil party, who had a bit of a hard reset. We then proceeded on with Rialdan and Novanius, who offered to send you to Justern, where you wanted to be. And with that, they led you to Novanius' pop-up tower, where you entered into a golden portal, and it brought you to the outside of Justern. As you get to Justern, looking out in front of you, you see a large wall with large walled city with a humongous gate at the front. Around the front of the gate, you see some tents, etc., and you see a scattering of houses from outside the gate. But you know that your business is inside. You have been given a note by Rialdan. It is sealed, and he has instructed you to show it to any guards at any gate. The floor is yours.
Are we in the city or right
Nope,
outside
you
the
are
main
outside
gate?
the city, looking at Big Gate.
Go up to
Readjust
it.
my vestments and prepare to approach the guards. I'm assuming there are guards in front of the gate.
There are. There is also a guard house either side of the outside of the gate.
Ooh, fancy. Okay. Hello there.
As you approach the gate, you see a large gentleman wearing full plate mail armor with a great sword on his back and a helmet on with a face covering. He looks over to you. What do you want? You jump in the queue.
Well, we have a special note from Rialdan.
Rialdan. All right, give it here.
Aye. Which one has it?
You.
Okay. I'll just-
Gideon has it.
Yep. So as you give it to him, he opens it up. Oh. Oh. Right. First of all, okay. Andres, come here, please. I will need you to escort this gentleman here. Yes, that Warforged right here. Escort him immediately to the palace, please. They'll know what to do. And at that point, you see Doctor is taken straight through the gate and marched straight to the Royal Palace. Well, as for the rest of you, let's have a look here. Okay, well, that makes sense. Fine. Gideon Dawnstar? Which one of you is Gideon Dawnstar?
I raise the hand. Say,
All right.
that's the eye.
Well, you'll be wanting to go to the temple, apparently. All right, we'll escort you straight there. Which one of you is Validrin?
Here?
Okay, excellent. Somebody wants to see you at the Magus Arcane, or somebody will want to see you, according to this note. Apparently, Rialdan didn't feel like just coming to the gate with you and instead wanted to wait for you there. That's who you're looking for when you get there. Which one of you is Roscoe Stonebridge?
I'm not in trouble, am I?
Not as far as I know. Some lady here called Kiliana, apparently, is your contact. You will want to visit her in the Dancing Lady.
Okay.
Which means all of you are going to need an escort to the Noble District. Okay, fantastic.
Oh, okay.
And which one of you is Glaciest Frostborn? Yes, come with me. Sir Jeff, please, over here. This is Sir Jeff. Sir Jeff will be escorting you immediately. I do not want to be the one to break the news to you. You need to go immediately. Please depart. And he will escort you straight through the Noble Gates, and we will come back to you later. And I assume that means that you, little one, are Keo. Yep, that's me. Alright, very good. Master... Oh, no. Where's his bloody list? I haven't got the right sheet open.
Oh no.
Master Leacris wants to see you. You will find him in the Noble District. He has a home there, and one of us will escort you. In fact, you know what? I think I'll escort you all myself and drop you all off. Let's do that. And with that, he walks through the gate. It's clear that he's one of the sort of head guards at the front door, and that is sort of who you'd be primarily speaking to each week at the front gate, even. Sorry, I'm having a real trouble because I've opened the wrong session notes. So just give me 2 seconds and I'll be with you. Yeah, you guys do not want to be
I don't
evil.
even get left out of the Noble District.
No, Gideon's the total opposite of that, actually.
Okay, so as you are walked through the gate, a sneaky little fucker comes up behind Validrin and attempts to put something in her pocket. However, he also catches her wrist on the way out. You take 3 points of piercing damage.
Right.
Yeah. Have a little look in your pocket and you will find a note.
Okay, I open it.
Okay, as you're reading the note and walking, a dangerous activity, you may take some more piercing damage shortly. You read, mercenaries wanted, please visit the Goblin Scourge. Appears they've singled you out for some odd reason. And with that, the guard proceeds to walk you all to the main Noble District Gate. At which point you see 4 guards. Each of them is wearing fine white embossed armour, plate mail. And each of them has a sword and a shield. And they sort of look over and they nod. Very good. And one of the guards looks up. Anders, are you taking them all through? Yes. The one you sent first is already being looked after. Excellent. Okay, so you make your way through the main gate, and the first stop is at a particular house. And at this point, we will resize our map. Because we're no longer going to be needing that half. So, let's do some downsizing.
That's okay, you can just chop my picture off, it's fine.
No, I didn't chop your picture off, I chopped the side off. Okay, so we come to a house shortly to the right of the Vintage Ranch. And the gentleman knocks on the door, Anders, and coming to the door you see a very old gnome. He's sort of got a small tuft of grey hair between his ears, but it's clearly receding. He's wearing a pair of spectacles at the end of his very long nose, and he's very short, and he's wearing a dark red cape. Yes? What exactly do you want? Why are you bringing a guard to my house? Oh my goodness, is that a kobold? And Anders looks at him and says, yes, Master Rialdan says you will be interested in this kobold and this kobold in you. This kobold's name is Keo. Keo? This is master name I can never remember. So do you know what? I'm just going to rename the fucker. Because I'm done with it. If I can't remember it, if we've got 4 attempts without me being able to remember it, his name is now Sicris. Please enjoy. That is far simpler. Why is the campaign notes for the entire Sogravia good empty?
It do be like that.
Campaign notes for Sogravia good should not be empty. I'm currently on the session 11 page of it.
What? Alright, well you can write it down. Sicris.
How the fuck do I spell that? Sikris. I need a link. Somehow the document that I own gone missing. Right.
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh.
Appreciate it. Because usually I take note of the notes. Okay, so Master Sicris will be seeing to Keo and Keo vice versa. Thank you very much. I've got that open now. That is much helpful. Fantastic. As you leave Keo with Master Sicris, we move on towards the dancing lady. As we walk back, and Roscoe, you are simply ushered through the door. Good luck. We will come back to you shortly.
Okay.
And then you are walked to the temple. And instead of going to the main door of the temple, Anders takes you to a rear door. And he knocks, and you see a rather suspicious-looking priest looking out. He's wearing large blue robes that are very much overhanging his head, and he has a pendant round his neck with the Star of Lathander across the front. Yes. And Anders says, "Oh, we have a Gideon Dawnstar." Oh! Oh, well. Oh, my. Oh, my. Come straight in. And Gideon, he ushers you in. We will...
before we move on.
Yeah.
Prodigal
Do I
son
recognize
returns.
this guy?
No.
Okay, cool.
Nope, he is just a priest guard. He is, so to explain, as you walk in, you see that he is wearing a chainmail shirt under his hooded robe, and a pair of leather greaves. He is definitely armed and well armored. He has a mace and a shield. So it's clear that he's a guard, not a priest. But you are ushered in,
Cool.
and we shall leave you there and return to you shortly.
Alright, cool.
At which point, we are now left with just Validrin. And Val, you are escorted to the Magus Arcane, and you see that Anders cannot get in the door. He instead rings what looks like a glorified doorbell, basically. It is a small image of the seven-pointed star, and he places his palm on it. And after a short moment, an illusion appears on the door of the star. Looks out, and you hear a very sort of mechanized voice. "Yes, how can I help you?" "One Lady Validrin here to see Master Rialdan." "One moment, please." "Yes, send her in." And the door's open for you. And Val, in you go. At which point, we will resume with Glacius. Bear with me 1 second. A real problem today with having 9,486 tabs open. It really does cause us a minor issue. I've got so much information open today. No, it's not lag, it's just finding the right damn tab.
It is info dump day, so big city.
No, that it is not. Glacius, you were not escorted to anywhere near anyone else. You were instead escorted to the front door of the temple and directly. As you come in, the gentleman, Sir Jeff, is with you, and he takes you to a side room, and he simply gestures for you to walk past a curtain, bows deeply, and walks away. As you enter through the curtain, you see a young elvish lady, and she looks over you and, "Oh, you must be Glacius." "Here."
Yeah.
And she steps aside, and you see your brother lying upon the bed. He doesn't appear to be conscious, but he's not dead. He was brought back from the front lines. He was a little too brave for his own good, I believe. He saved 3 men. But he took a spear in the neck. All right, Gideon. Throw your crockery around, please. As she gestures towards the bed, she says he took a spear in the neck, as well as 2 axe wounds to the chest, a fire blast to the forehead, and he was also hit by 2 lightning bolts, and then dragged by his horse all the way back to Kovac. It seems his bond with the horse was the only thing that kept him alive. The temple there, they did their best, but unfortunately, we've been able to stabilize him, but not wake him. He was brought here, and as we were told, that's where you would be, and if I dare say so myself, we're probably the best healers in the land. I understand you must want some time. Do you have any questions?
Was no poison?
No. Just too many wounds for the body to take. Sometimes magical healing is not enough. Sometimes the body needs its own time. Sometimes the body wants to make its own healing. He's a strong man. He's been unconscious for 32 hours, but he could wake up. Okay, I'll have a chair brought in for you. She steps outside and you can hear her speaking quietly to another man. And you are brought to sit. You brought a chair and able to sit next to your brother. See, he's clutching something in his hand. She looks over to you. Ah. Even in his unconscious state, we have been unable to get him to release that. It seems to be a note, a letter. Maybe
I get up and I
somebody
try to
as
open
strong
his
as
hand.
you. Yes, so maybe somebody as strong as you is more capable of doing so. Give me a strength check, please. I mean, he really was gripping it with his life.
Jeez. All right.
That's a 22.
Yeah, that'll do. You're able to very
Shit.
gently but very firmly pry each of his fingers away, at which point you see a note. It says, Glacius, I have failed. Our men are dead. I'm the last one. These lands, they are no normal lands. They are like they were when we went to Mistralia. Dark, bleak. There is no hope in these lands. I'm attempting to get back. I am gravely wounded, but should I not come back? There is a key for you. In Carthan. You will be able to find it at the tavern. I left it with Kiliana. It is everything we ever saved up. And all the notes on all our men. I hope I make it back to you. But if I don't, I believe in you. Fight well. It would be signed, but you are absolutely atrocious at putting names in your backstory. So, it's left blank. Yes. I do have his character sheet somewhere.
He's busy with other things.
It's
He's busy trying to get back.
I thought that would be a nice palate cleanser from that. But yes, that is your note, and we will leave you to ponder that note.
Oh look, it's me all over again with my mother.
As we come to Roscoe. Roscoe, you enter the Dancing Lady, and quite frankly, you see a lot of dancing ladies. The room is dimly lit. You see red curtains at either side. There are some very comfortable-looking chaises.
Dancing lady.
Well, maybe you are. You never know with Kiliana. But if you look around closely enough, you will find that Kiliana is definitely present. And she is sat in a chaise longue with a glass of wine in her hand, looking like she's living the life.
Yep, she's smashed.
Right, okay. I'm just going to grab a seat next to her and just plonk myself down.
Roscoe! Oh, come here. She puts her arm around you in very comradely form that you're really not particularly comfortable with or used to Kiliana doing.
I
she's
mean,
drunk.
I'm not the most uncomfortable with it, but no, it's not.
Just because it's her, not like uncomfortable in general.
Yeah, because it's her as well. Yeah.
So, well.
Oh, you've been on the juice quite hard today, huh?
No, I'm sober. Look at this full. It's been full all day. Look at it. She hands you a glass of wine that is entirely full. And she gestures towards the bottle on the table that is also full. But she says, hey, you know, a girl's got to play the act. No, I've got some work for you.
Ah, yes, okay. Right. First question, though.
Mm-hmm.
Before we talk work. If I do take on work from you, how am I supposed to get back in here, considering, you know, there's those guards there and they're...
Oh, you need to take it through the noble gate? Oh, I don't know. Flash them your boot. Wait, that's how I get through. I don't know how you get through. I don't know. You're short. Can't you just like scuttle under the wall or something?
I mean, I could go invisible, but then how the fuck am I supposed to get through the closed gate? That's the problem. If the gate's open, I can get through while I'm
Make yourself
invisible,
useful to somebody. Get yourself a noble contract. I don't know. Go work for the courthouse. You're the creative spy. Work it out.
True.
Manage.
True.
Regardless, you will at least be here. Take this. This is at least one. That'll get you through once. That's to come and see me.
Right. Okay, that would do for a short-term solution if you do need me to do a job and I need to come find you.
Well, yes, I mean, the job I need you to do is not in the Noble District, so you shouldn't have a problem.
Yeah, but just on the off chance that I do need to come find you because something with the job
Yeah,
isn't quite as it seems.
You always worry too much. You really want to worry?
I like
Let me
to
tell
have
you
a
what the
plan,
job is.
You know, I like to have a plan. You know.
Well, okay, here's your job.
Yeah.
Underneath the Salty Dog in the Paupers District, you will find a casino.
A casino underneath the Paupers District?
That is
That's
not underneath the Paupers
interesting.
District, specifically underneath the Salty Dog. Place is full of evil people.
Oh, okay.
Full of criminal bastards, full of scum. You'll fit right in. Down there, you will find a casino, and you have a contact there. We need some information. Apparently, there is a Shadow Veil in this city, but we are yet able to get their name. However, you will need to assimilate yourself into the casino people down there and see what you can find out.
Okay. Casino under the Salty Dog. Blend in, mingle.
Should be pretty simple. Also, I found you a present. Just bear with me a second. Glysindra! Could you bring that lady? The lady we discussed. Yes, the lady we discussed. Clearly not any other lady. You have me for. I'm a woman of appetites, but I have my limits. Come now. Alright. And, Lucinda is a tall-looking elven woman, perhaps half-elven. And she goes off to find somebody, nice. And she returns fairly shortly, with, what appears to be a very short halfling. With a bob of blonde hair, wearing a fairly revealing top and a pair of breeches. And, Kiliana leans over and slaps you on the wrist. Says, "Oi! Not like that. It's a contact, you idiot." Alright. Crystal, come and sit down. And as Crystal sits down next to you, you see that Crystal probably is a little drunk. She's definitely not sober. She's been here. She looks over at you. Alright! We've been waiting 4 weeks for you. What's taking you so long?
You honestly wouldn't bloody believe. It's been through hell and high water to get here.
Useless. As they say, you've been to Australia. How was it?
Oh, it was fucking awful.
Sounds about right. Did you at least drink the tea before you went?
No one fucking told me about the tea.
Yeah.
I wish I had the tea.
We only found out about it recently. That ranger woman came and told us all. A sisterhood. Well, anyway. I'll be your contact down at the Salty Dog. I'm the dealer there.
Oh, wonderful.
Well, it's my cover at least. I've got names, I've got lists, I've got information, but what I haven't got is what you need. We need somebody to get in a bit more with the people that run it than just working with the damn casino. I've been dealing cards every night for 3.5 months. I'm bored shitless. Can't stand the pricks down there. It's full of tieflings, full of drow.
Oh, just the right sort of pricks then to deal with.
Yeah, it's horrible. I miss working at Snake's Paradise. It was so much nicer back there. Well, anyway, I'll be your contact. I'll see you down there. And, hey, Kiliana, keep the wine coming. And she walks away over to the other chaise-longue, down the corner, and she sits down with 2 busty elven women, and is clearly engaged in conversation. At this point, give me a perception check.
Will do. Yeah, that's a 27 and a 27, so that's a 27.
Okay. You notice very easily that there is a particular gentleman walking around. He frankly looks like a dancer. He's an elf. He's got long silver hair. He is wearing no shirt, and instead has delicate tattoos drawn over his chest. And he is wearing a pair of silvered breeches, and is barefoot. And he appears to be one of the clientele there. Definitely somebody who works there. But as you look around, as he passes lots of different nobles, and even some of the courtesans, there's a lot of hugging involved, and some of that hugging seems to involve some coin purses.
Oh. How interesting.
You are still sat next to Kiliana if you wish to ask any questions.
Well, I'm definitely going to make sure to keep one hand on my coin purse. From this point onwards. So, these sorts of bastards we're dealing with, huh? It's a tiefling, a lot of drow. I think I'm gonna need a stiff drink for this job. But I'll do it.
You're not drinking on my tab. Regardless.
shit, do I...
I'm glad you'll do it.
Yeah.
Look, here's the deal. I'll give you 1,000 gold now. And she hands it to you straight away. Still no gold, it's still rubles. She hands you 1,000 rubles now. That's your down payment. You need funds to get in there? You speak to Crystal. You need funds to carry on working there? You speak to Crystal. You get stuck on the job and you need more information? You speak to Crystal. If you die on the job, don't speak to anybody. Nobody gives a shit. If you do, however, manage to succeed... If you do, however, manage to succeed...
Expendable.
I've got 15,000 rubles for you.
Now, I've got one question for you there.
Yeah.
You said if I need to get in, if I have problems with money and I need to get in, speak to Crystal. Isn't Crystal the one that was like just there, my contact that was inside as a
Yeah, easy. You're dealing with her at the table, you lean over to her and you give her a bit of a wink. She'll meet you outside, nice and simple. Maybe she'll take you to a room. She's got
If I'm
rooms
having
there.
trouble getting in.
No.
If I'm
Getting
having
involved with the people. You won't have any... If you have trouble getting
Right.
into the Salty Dog Tavern, then honestly, you're uglier than I thought you were. If you have trouble getting downstairs to the casino, then you're clearly not carrying enough money. If you have trouble getting to one of the tables... I can't see... you're fucked. So, no. My problem is with you insinuating yourself. She'll be able to give you some contacts, some details, lines of people who are within the line of work, you know, that sort of thing. That's what I mean. Come on, you know the lingo. Get with it. Also,
yeah, good
we
point,
do
good
have
point.
one more contact here. You may have seen him wandering around. Name's Drax. You see that elf over there? And she points towards the, yes, half-naked elf slipping his hands into people's wallets.
Oh. Now I was thinking I'd be having to watch my coin purser.
Oh, you will. He's stolen mine twice tonight.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, he's definitely quick-handed, but he does have his uses. He is not a member of the Sisterhood, obviously. He instead works for Helena's. Helena's is it's a fucking whorehouse, to be honest. It's just next to the Salty Dog Tavern, and they collect information. It's dark in there, and you get in, you may not get out. But Drax works for them. He gets information and gets items at a cost. If you need the dirt on someone, Drax is your man. You can find him working here in the evenings, or down at Helena's late at night and early mornings. Watch your coin purse. He is an employee, not a friend. And, well, don't sleep with him.
Well, that would be challenging, I think.
Yes. Rumors say he can go for 12 hours. It's, for somebody of your stature, it might be quite exhausting. Regardless. Any other questions?
Don't think I do have any.
Brilliant. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Get the fuck out. I'm done with you. Bye.
Right.
And you will have to leave. At which point, Kiliana's not a bitch. She just...
No, she's
thinks
just
Roscoe's an idiot.
That's fine.
Okay, and at this point we will resume with Gideon. Gideon, you are ushered into a small secluded back room of the Temple of Lathander. And you know these places. You grew up here. And as you go in, you see a certain gentleman sat at the table, at the desk. And you know this to be the primary priest who looked after you as a child. He's old and greyed. Yes, you also aren't brilliant at putting names in your backstory. Father Sebastian, it
I
is.
did put it in, I think.
Nope. Read it very carefully this evening before starting the episode. Regardless, as you go in, you see Father Sebastian sat at the table, but he looks a bit grey. Which, given that he's a member of the priesthood, you would expect him to be capable of living a bit longer. He's old. He looks up. Oh, Gideon Dawnstar. Never did I think I would lay eyes on you again. Come here, young man.
Father Sebastian? What?
He stands up and goes to give you a hug, and has to look up at you now, which is a big surprise to him. Well, I never. Rumours have got back to us, you know. They say you're out there doing good work.
I have. I've been trying to help the people, as you said.
Somebody came to see you a while back. Somebody, well, we didn't know and we never thought we would see. In fact, at first we thought it was you. Then we thought it was an angel. He gave his name as radiance. He was a full Asimo.
Another?
No, a different. He has come from the far, far, far west, or so he tells me. Seeking
Is he still here?
answers on the Shadow Veil. He left nigh 3 months ago now. Said he was returning back to the west, but he did leave a letter for you. And a gift.
I see.
Perhaps. Well, I kept them safe for you. Here, let me go and find them.
Of course, I'll try and help him as best I can, just like support him.
No, he can definitely walk quite confidently, but he does lean on a stick, and he's very glad to lean on your shoulder. And he leans you back to what was your very own bedroom. And there, lying upon the bed, is one scroll. You can see the room is untouched since you left. Untouched. Clean, but untouched. Is a scroll and a large kite shield, in silver and white. These are
Pick up
the gifts of the Asima. Here, this is... Well, I've studied the shield. It seems to have quite incredible prospects, and you will find it surprisingly making its way into your inventory. I'm not going to read out the stats on stream. Regardless, they say it's a gift of their people, gift of your people. And, I haven't read the letter. It is sealed. It is good to have you back. How have you fared on your travels?
Quite well. Some parts have been bumpy here and there, but nothing that I can't deal with. What about yourself?
Nothing changes here. Yes, well, I grow old. Older and older by the day, it feels. I don't do much here anymore. I look after the occasional sick person recovering, but that's about it. But frankly, I've lost the zest I once had. The hope. Your coming is good. It reminds me that there is hope for the world, but frankly, I see it going down dark routes. The nobles here, they fight between themselves. The Magus Arcane, the Furian Guard, the Dawn Guard, even the Temple, the Palace, they all feud constantly. Such a waste of everybody's time. Get on with it. Do the right thing. It's not that hard. Who cares who leads us? Well, anyway, it's enough of me politicking. Most importantly, did you make any friends on your travels?
I have a few. They've helped me quite a deal. I would probably be dead if it weren't for them.
Well, that is good. Good friends are hard to come by in life. They are the family that we choose. And for that reason, they are the ones we should stand by. And how about a woman? Have you found yourself a partner?
Not yet. Still looking for the right one.
Look a bit harder. Come on now. I know you're not old like me, but we need angeldings, or whatever they call children of your kind. That'll give the world some hope.
I don't know.
But information does come back to us. It's been a pleasure to see posters out of you, although they've definitely got the nose wrong.
I know, right? It's just so off-center.
Dreadful. But regardless, I'm glad that we get to see a bit of news of you, even if you have become somewhat unfortunately famous. Well, regardless, if you do need to come and see me again, I mostly work now down at the Lower Temple. You'll find that in the Workers' District, in the west, and even at the Almshouse. I prefer to work with those less fortunate nowadays and do some simple good instead of this complicated politicking. I really am done with it. Also, at some point, you will need, undoubtedly, to report to Great Priest Yelden. He will be curious, and he will have much to say, I am sure. Which orifice he speaks out of, well, that is yet to be seen. It is usually the latter, if you get my drift. The man is truly an ass, and his opinions are appalling, and frankly, he is a greedy shit that doesn't really serve any purpose to the temple. He is, however, excellent at garnering us more land, if that helps us in any way whatsoever. We can't even man the land we have. Recruitment is at a high, and production, or productivity, is at an absolute low. The ways of the gods have been lost. But Lady Cerelia is still present with us, and she is, however, a lot more useful as such, and, well, you could call her a second in command. Whatever...
Glad to see her raising up in the world.
Yes, whatever verbal feces Yelvan launches at you, you'll do well to pass it by Cerelia and see whether she can make some sense of it. He will be sitting upon his new white marble throne in the temple proper, I guess. He doesn't do much else, if I'm honest. But regardless, what has a little old man like me got to say about those of the high and mighty? They offered me the position once, you know, Lord High Priest.
You were a fine priest at that.
Yeah, I told them to
Help
stick
the
it up their
family.
arse, didn't I? Idiots. Why would I want to do that politicking and power maneuvering and sitting down with stupid little noble people that are more interested in which fork to use and what dress Courtney wore at her last damn ball than doing some good in the world? And, well, let's face it, I've got the king's ear myself. What's the point of having the position of power? Nevertheless, if you need to get through the noble district, here, this will get you through once. And he hands you a small... It appears to be a rod of some sort. It is, well, you look at it and you can't really work it out. Unless... Give me an insight check.
Alrighty. Insight, you said?
Yep.
19.
Yes, this is a gabble. Gabbles are used by priests of high power to... Well, they're usually waved around when shaking them at people and creating laws.
Yes.
Music has skipped. Sorry, let me just fix that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's well above someone of your position, and you shouldn't really be using it. But he's handed it to you nonetheless to get through just the once, and he gives you a wink. You might need to hand that one back.
Yeah, I think this is a bit too high for my position, but I thank you nonetheless.
Excellent. Well, regardless, perhaps one day it'll be you that carries the golden gavel. It's good to see you, young man.
Good to see you too, Father Sebastian.
Very well. And we will resume with religion.
Alright.
Well, as you are ushered through the main doors, you see that the interior of the Magus Arcane, even though the tower itself was almost 500 foot, inside you see it is huge. Absolutely huge. You have absolutely no idea where to go. It's fair to say have you visited the Magus Arcane in Justern before? Probably not, right?
I have no idea. Probably not.
I would doubt it, yes. Well, anyway, as you are... I guess going to meet a male instead of female attendant, who is standing at the door, and he bows to you. My lady, my name is Engelbert Humperdinck. Thanks. I would really like that. My name is Engelbert Humperdinck. I will be your guide today. I understand that you're here to see Master Rialdan.
I believe so.
You must be somebody of quite a lot of importance, Val. You're very quiet, by the way. I believe you must be somebody of quite some importance, then. You're an adventurer? I've always wanted to go out in the world. It must be amazing, all those adventures you see. You must be a powerful sorceress. It's really interesting. Somebody said you were a blade singer. I'd love to learn the art. He doesn't shut up. At all. Eventually, you get to a golden portal. We won't continue with it, because he'll kill... You might actually stab him. But eventually he gets to the golden portal and he says, well, I'm far not important enough to be going through here, and, well, I'm sure that you are, and, well, at some point you really must teach me that blade singing thing, and you are such a mighty sorcerer. Val, would you like to just walk through the portal?
I ignored him the entire time.
Fantastic. Walk straight through the golden portal. And you see sat at his desk, Rialdan, hand in fist. Oh, well, it was a strange departing and meeting, but I can't be seen walking through the front gate. Yes, Val, your father's in town. I won't mince words.
Shit.
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 I have a very simple offer for you.
fuck.
It is very simple. If you wish him to know you're present, I will make sure that he knows your presence. If you wish him to not know your presence, I will find work for him elsewhere very quickly, and he shall fuck off. Which would you prefer?
To be honest, he probably doesn't want to know that I'm here.
Okay. Excellent. I shall find some really important work for him in Zerenia. He can go and lay the crystals or something. Or, I don't know. Maybe we can find him a class to teach us something. The man is getting far too involved in politics these days. You know that he has been putting out work to find you? All over the world?
Haven't heard about that yet.
No, he's paying mercenaries. He tried paying the Sisterhood, although what they'd be able to do about it, I've no idea. He's paid all sorts of people to try and retrieve you. No. Well, maybe not in a macabre sense, I'm not so sure, but he's definitely seeking you. So I'll ask you one more time. Do you want him to know you're here, or do you want him to be otherwise detained?
He can fuck off for all I care.
Very well. Then I shall do that. In the meantime, will you be staying in Chestone for a while?
Depends on my group, but yes.
Excellent. Well, I've secured you all rooms this evening. You're staying at the... I can't see it on the screen because the map's cut in half. I know it's a bard. A burping bard. There we go. That's what he's doing. I knew he was doing something. You'll be staying at the burping bard. I've secured 6 rooms for you. Although, from what I understand, your Warforged companion has been taken to the palace. What do you know of that?
Yes. It's his story, not mine to tell.
Loyalty to one's friends above the order, I understand. You're only a recent rejoiner of the Magus Arcane, right? Would you like to renew your membership? Shall we get those documents in order? Or perhaps you'd like to come back with some of your more magically inclined friends. You had some priests, did you not? We can get you all signed up, especially that kobold. Maybe you could bring them back in the following day. Here, I tell you what, and he goes in his pocket and he says, here, this wand. You will need this. This will get you into the Jastern Magus Arcane. It is separate to the others. And perhaps you might, it might get you through the Noble Gate just the once. I can't promise it will continue to do so. But regardless, I've secured you all rooms. And while you're here, perhaps you might be interested in doing some work for me.
Depends. What is it?
Something discreet. There is a strange lady in the Arcade of Endless Wonders now. Obviously, strange in context of that place is, well, incredibly strange. Suffice to say, I don't know her race. I didn't think that was possible. Lived for 1200 years. I've studied all the arcane arts. I've studied those of the 9 hells. I've studied the heavens. I've never seen anybody whose race I cannot identify, but this one is beyond me. So... I want to know something about her. That's all. I want to know something about her. Anything. Except for the trinkets she sells. I'm frankly not interested in those. I've bought 2, tested them. They are absolutely useless. However, if you can find anything else about her, I would be most in debt to you.
Wait, where is it? Where's she again?
In the Arcade of Endless Wonders.
Oh, okay.
Her name is Athenwine. Yes, good luck spelling that. I'll copy it out to you.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm gonna say. You knew.
Oh, wow.
Athenwine, and
Athenwine.
Athenwine.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She arrived about 3 months ago. Took up a stall and started selling things. She sells small wooden trinkets. They look to be carvings of wood. Primarily spheres. Eyes, they look like almost. Perhaps wooden gems. I will be honest, she's an excellent woodcarver, but I can detect nothing of any other use to them. But I want to know who she is. If you find out any information for me, bring it to me and I'll reward you.
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds easy enough.
Excellent. Well, one might say a pleasure doing business here. If you don't want to have to walk all the way back with Engelbert, take the silver portal on the wall. That man is quite infuriating. He's been recently employed as the new, what do they call them these days? Attendants? Oh, I don't know. I call them tour guides, personally. And those who turn up at the door, they take them round, natter in their ear, piss them all off, and make everybody hate the Mage's Arcane. In some ways, they're incredibly useful. Regardless, yes, if you don't want to walk back with Engelbert, take the silver portal. It'll get you to the front door.
Alright. Yep. I go.
Okay, fantastic. And at this moment, Roscoe, you have come out the dancing lady. And it's fair to say you've probably tried your luck, walking around the town a little bit in the noble district, as Roscoe would. Glacius, you are still, I'm assuming, in the room with your brother, in the temple. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
And Valigian, as you walk out, you bump straight into Gideon, who is outside. And as the two of you are walking to the front of the temple, you see Roscoe standing sort of slightly jaw open, just looking up at the palace.
Roscoe,
Maybe
there you
he's
are.
contemplating being the king. Who knows?
Maybe he's contemplating killing the king.
As the three of you are together, you are greeted by a guard. Well, I understand that most of your business is concluded in the noble district, but your friend is within the temple proper. A lady in there says that perhaps he could do with some friends.
Oh,
At this moment, you give me a perception check. Probably Roscoe. He's the one with the best ears.
yeah, I think that's pretty much what we need, a 28.
Yeah, cool. You hear a little shouting coming that you recognize. Hey, put me down! Put me down! What? I'm free now! I'm free! Where are my
Wait, is
friends?
that
Take me
Keo?
to my... And as you turn over, you see Keo is currently sat on a guard's shoulder, who is trying to escort him out of the noble district.
Like whole city.
Would you like to go over to them?
Hell yeah, I am.
Okay. Fantastic.
Keo, what's going on?
The guard looks down at you. What is this? Land of the midgets that aren't where they're meant to be? And he goes to pick you up. And the other guard says, hold on. Hold on. Put the kobold down. You never did have any
Please.
tact. Well, regardless, anyway. I apologize here for my man. This is Qual. He's an incredible fighter, but...
Fucking Carl.
No, Qual. Please, not
Oh,
Carl.
Carl. I thought it was
I'm just going to call you Carl from now on.
You may call me Carl.
Carl.
You may call him Carl. You may also call him arsehole. However, be aware that he is one of the best fighters we have on the guard, and that's why he's allowed to be a little brash at times. Regardless, if you would put the kobold down, I said. You can see he's sort of dangling Keo slightly at an angle. Keo just eventually pulls out something tiny. It's about this big, and it looks to be like an earring. He just sort of gently puts it to the guard's neck, and you see the guard's hair all stand on end as his body goes rigid. He just drops Keo immediately, who lands neatly on his feet. And the fuck was that? He looks around, and Keo just goes, I don't know. I got shocked by something. Maybe we got hit by lightning. Regardless, the guard turns to you all and says, well, you have a friend in need. Apparently you are wanted at the temple. The lady there will see you. And on that note, as you enter the temple and you see a group of closed curtains, we shall take a short break. Welcome back. We resume with our party, who are finally united apart from Glacius, including Kia. As you stand in the front entranceway to the temple, do you see a young priestess come over? Young is a relevant term in this case. She is definitely elven. She comes over to you. Hey, are you the friends of Glacius?
Yes, sister.
That's us.
He's with his brother. He's unconscious and has been for 32 hours. We've given him all the magical assistance he could possibly need. Right now, short of divine intervention, we can only wait for the body to heal itself. Listen, I don't mean to pry, but they're dragonborn, right? Obviously. Their physiology works somewhat differently. Are any of you knowledgeable about Glacius's, or rather his brother's, upbringing, perhaps? Maybe where they're from?
All I know is that they were both somewhere in the mountains, or from somewhere in the mountains. Beyond that, I'm not exactly sure. He was that much of an open book.
Look, at the end of the day, a Dragonborn healer may be better for them. But I do not know of one. Of course, what would be perfect is an actual dragon, but... well, they can be difficult to get your hands on these days. So, in the meantime, there is... well, perhaps we should speak to Glacius as well. She pulls the curtain aside gently, and you see Glacius is sat by the bed of his brother. Glacius, if we may have a word.
Of course.
There is something that we could try. But I know not how it would work. Although rumors and old texts say that it could. There is an old cure made with dragon's blood. But dragons haven't been seen in these lands for 240 years, since Gildor Silvertongue flew one into battle. And certainly not those of the goodly metallic type, have gone even longer. And given your brother's colouring, may I assume that metallic might not be the right option? He's a black dragonborn, correct?
Oh, he is white.
Oh, he's white.
Just like
He's white like you. Okay, right, cool. Well, I don't know if you have any connections. Dragon blood is still available in certain very dark places, but I wouldn't be the one who wanted to go and get it. It is said the drow have a store somewhere. Other than that, look, he might wake up on his own accord. The body works in mysterious ways. But if I was desperate to speak to my brother again, I'd be looking for dragon's blood. You said you have a friend, Gideon?
We have a friend who happens to be a drow.
I do not want to know of your dark and nefarious connections, please. I am a mere healer. Nevertheless, I suggest that if you have any friends as such, you turn to them and ask. That is my recommendation. Here, and she hands Glacius a long, formal document, basically granting you access to the temple at any hour, night or day. That will also get you through the Noble Gate, but you will get through alone, not with anyone else. Just a note, if you are found to be elsewhere with that, in the Noble District, you may find yourself arrested, so please, use it for what it is regarded for. We do not give these out lightly.
Thank you. Gideon, too much to ask to see if you can do anything?
Let me see
She
what
looks
I
to
can
Gideon.
do.
You are a cleric?
Yes, I
There is
used to live in a nearby temple.
only one thing you can do for this man, and well, two. You cannot source dragon's blood, you can beseech your god. But I assure you, the highest power of the highest clerics has been used in an attempt. This man saved many lives at the border. He is respected, and Fulgar himself gave a recommendation for keeping him alive, and recommendation for captaincy, actually. It's a very high position, given to very few. He has clearly done a lot on the front lines, but so we really have exhausted every effort we can, arcane and divine. Beseech your god by all means, but I do not think that using your energies themselves will make any difference. I'll leave you all in peace.
Thank you.
She heads off. The way that the room works is that there is a small curtained off room with a bed in it, a chair next to it now for Glacius if he wishes, and then there is a small door, and then there is what appears to be a sort of visitor's room of such. It is quite large, and you can see that there is one other woman in there. She is human and appears to be crying. But she's at the far end. There's lots of space for you guys to sit in there and talk if you wish, or you can head somewhere else.
Either way, I'm going to suggest maybe we talk with Caviar.
Indeed. See, I pull out the note my brother left, and I kind of gesture. He wrote this, and Well, I've never seen anything like this. We never had to. Obviously, we weren't fighting on the front lines our entire life, but we've been through a lot. He can pull through, but left a key for me with Kiliana. Wanting to speak with her eventually, whenever we can. But I would also like to do whatever I can to save my brother.
And I will help you as much as I can to help you save your brother.
Thank you.
At this moment, there's quite a commotion out the front of the temple, sort of on the way in the entranceway. If you go
I
now.
want to take a peek.
Okay. You see the Lady Azeldria, who you knew as Solara, daughter of the Elven Queen. So I said I want to speak to them now! Who are you? I'll take your name, you'll lose your job. Get out of my way, now, immediately. Do you know who I am? Step aside. She walks through, and she sees you, Glacius. Glacius, I'm so sorry I came as soon as I could. You were all so good to me. It's not so long since I lost someone myself. Any resources you need of the elves, my mother will see to it immediately.
She
Well,
is, I think it's not.
The dragon's blood.
Dragon's blood? Well. She sort of gives a wry smile and a wink. That could be an adventure. My mother may have a source, I will ask. But I can make no promises on that front. They say that they've expended their energies, arcane and divine, but... well, none of them are true elves. May I?
Please. By all means.
See,
It's
she
worth a shot.
steps inside the curtained room. She takes your brother's hand and she begins to focus.
I'm gonna follow her in and try and do my best as well.
It's fair to say you can try and do your best, but it ain't gonna make a slight bit of difference.
So I got
He's an
tried.
elf, okay?
She concentrates and focuses, and she looks over to you guys. He's in a rough position. So many, many wounds. Any normal man will be dead. It's almost impossible. She puts both hands on his chest, but she shakes her head. This is... They weren't lying. There is so much magic coursing through his veins, I can't even find his blood. It is... He's being kept alive by their magics. They have expended a lot. But... perhaps not everything. You see her try and concentrate. You see the beads of sweat forming on her forehead. You see her eyes are closed. You see she's almost trembling. At one moment you see your brother rise completely from the bed and then settle down again. A window at the back of the room smashes outwards, and still she continues to concentrate. These dice are not being kind to you. She lets out a scream.
Guys.
And quite viciously, she sort of says, "You will give me what I want."
So, Lord, are you well?
That's a nat one. That ain't happening.
Oh my god.
She takes his hands in.
Nice God,
hers.
stop, please.
You can see that his hands dwarf hers multiple times. Finally, she puts her forehead to his forehead. And you see her go an ashen pale grey.
Oh,
Her eyes close and she collapses to the ground.
Oh,
I'm gonna run over and try and catch her.
Give me a dexterity check. I don't think you're quick enough for that.
Also,
Try.
attempt to help.
Yeah, it's a 12.
Gideon was the only one who was on that side of the bed. It's fair to say I think Glacius would have been more focused on his brother and completely oblivious to this. So, yeah, she collapses on the floor. Gideon, as you go over, give me a medicine check, please.
Oh, there's something I'm good at. That's a 21.
Yeah, she has 5 levels of exhaustion.
Shit!
She is as close to death. She is as close to death as he is right now. However, her restorative is a little simpler. Perhaps you might want to call a healer?
Healer! Hela, come quickly!
The curtain opens immediately. She was clearly stood outside. She heard the window smash. She looks up. Oh, a new patient? Oh, that's... She looks over her. What did she try and do?
I don't... She tried to use some magic to try and heal, Scar. Glacius's brother.
We know his name. All right,
let
bring
her
her
die.
here. Put her on the bed.
I think
Put her
she's
on the bed.
exhausted herself.
She has expended more magic than she has. And she's given a large portion of her life force to your brother. We did not take this line. It is... For a human to do this would be instantaneous death. For an elf of the non-royal line to do this could result in a permanent state of mindlessness. For an elf of the royal blood to do this? I don't know. You say you're a priest. Please, can you spare some energy?
I think I can.
Okay, what's your constitution
I know
modifier?
I can. My constitution modifier is a +4. I have 19.
Times it by
I'll offer
10.
my assistance
Times it by
as
10
well.
and lose that HP.
Plus by 10 and lose that HP.
No, so you
Okay.
go down to what, 30 something. You say you're also a healer. This is going to
That's
sound.
just for my maximum.
Yeah. Just go down to 35 HP, or 40
35
HP, or
HP?
whatever it is. Yeah. I don't know what you said. 40 HP. Just do yourself 40 points of damage. Thanks.
Okay.
And then she looks over to you and Roscoe, and she says, "This might sound strange, but I think I'm going to need you to heal me."
I'm not the world's greatest healer, but I'll give
Anything
it
you
my
can
best.
give. The energy,
Right.
Doctor, when you need him.
the energy your friend has given me is substantial. And she puts her forehead to the forehead of the Lady Azeldria, and you can see that she's performing the same feat, pretty much, that she just performed with Scar, but perhaps a little bit more practiced and a little bit more careful. And you see the lady's eyelids flutter. Oh. Well, did he wake?
I'm gonna check. Is he awake?
Oh, I'm assuming Glacius is standing right next to him.
Oh shit, am I?
Yes.
Yes. Not as such, but his skin is warm. Which is, quite frankly, unheard of. And his breathing is far stronger. What are you doing, Glacius?
I take his hand and I just sort of sit back down in the chair and just try to give it a few minutes. I'm not a magical healer or a healer anyway. There's nothing.
Do you say
You try to
anything?
do a nature check, see?
Do you say anything to him?
Call out to him.
Give me a persuasion check.
You will not die. Gets a natural 20. Raise this from the dead.
That's not
That's
bad.
18.
Yeah. You see his eyes flicker.
I'm a barbarian.
You see his eyes flicker. And they open. But he stares blankly at the wall in front of him.
Oh.
The Lady Azeldria comes over. Having already got out of the bed, she was not willing to give up yet. Oh. Oh no. No. He must be unconscious. Quickly. And she places a hand on his chest, and you see a small shock come out from her. And his eyes close, and he goes back to sleep. If he wakes in that kind of state, he'll never recover his might. But I've done what I can. I'll continue to do more. I'll speak with my mother immediately. We'll see whether we can source some dragon's blood. The elves have old tales of the cures of dragon's blood. What you really need, though, is a dragonborn healer. I know not where you could find one, but
A dragonborn healer in
Go
what
home.
sense? Clerical?
it doesn't matter.
Science? Doctoral?
Somebody who understands their physiology. The dragonborn have always been healed in different ways. The blood that flows through their veins, is regenerative, so for them to lie truly injured is unusual and usually requires more mental healing than physical.
trip home might be in order.
Glad I made up like a good few priests to have in my thing, and one of them happens to be a Dragonborn.
Lady Azeldria picks up a vase of flowers from the side and she just throws it at the wall.
Whoa.
Too many people standing on the precipice of death who deserve to live, and too many people living who deserve to die. I hate this politic world. It is why I left it. It's why I left this politic world. I've lived a peaceful life with my adopted father for 200 years. Away from all of this. I spent 3 days back in it, and I found 2 people in states on the edge of death. One in a catatonic state where we can't get anything out of her mind, and the other... Oh, well, I suppose you should know. Your friend Doctor. Perhaps not here. I have so little magic left to me. Please. And she hands a wand to Roscoe. Roscoe, give me an Arcana check.
No, that's not looking great. That's a 7.
Give me an investigation check instead? No, it would be useless to you, Val.
Yeah, that's a 16.
That'll do. She tells you the command word, and she says this will enact a globe of silence, but honestly, I think using it might be the end of me. Please.
Okay,
You're
is
able
this
to
an ideal
activate
place,
the
or would you like to go
investigation.
somewhere else for it?
Here will do. I'm not in a mood to scurry around.
Okay, right, I'll just point that
Yeah,
so
straight at the ground.
pretty much right at my feet and
Yeah.
pop out the command word.
Listen, your friend Doctor, his sister was murdered.
Hmm.
The Lord Genghis?
Old?
Well, basically, what Doctor didn't know is that his sister is his true sister by blood. She is the princess. She was hidden innocuously in a family. He was warforged. They did their best to keep one or the other safe. When Doctor's identity was revealed to a couple of people, they sent out for the lady. And they kept her safe in the palace. She had a room where only 4 people had access. The king, the queen, the Lord Genghis, and the diplomat, Aemon. And yet she was murdered.
And I have a feeling there's somebody you're suspecting then, or people are suspecting.
No, it makes no sense. Both Genghis and the Lord Aemon have taken a little hit to their reputation because of it, but I doubt either of them care. Frankly, they are about 2 of the most reputable people in town. Not to mention the king and the queen, of course, are not particularly under what the fuck just happened. Gideon
Power out.
died.
Power
Okay.
went out.
Lovely. Just bear with us a second.
Basically.
Oh, no, I got rid of both of them. That's not what I was expecting. There we go. Bring his face back, bring his face back. Sorry. Minor distraction. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of face. Okay, well, that's going to have to do. I'm not used to this on-the-fly technical problem thing. There's his face, I found him. Okay, welcome back, Darth.
Oh dear. Technical difficulties, please stand by.
Oh, it's exciting. We're moving the background as well. It really is getting exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Right, I like the way that Kyo has a face cam capture. Work that one out. Regardless, more to the important news.
It's just you.
No,
Yes,
alright, it doesn't make sense.
Look, I'm not here to solve the murder. The point is, the woman. They found her corpse. She was stolen from the Undercroft. Before the funeral.
You mean
A
his sister?
copy, yes. A
Stolen.
copy of her body was left in the coffin. Good enough for the funeral, good enough for almost everyone, but not good enough for one man in particular. The diplomat realized the problem. And Aemon began investigating. We found out only yesterday that the sisterhood were at fault. They'd resurrected
For
her.
murder?
No, for resurrecting her.
Oh shit.
Now the problem is the
Yes.
wounds were dark. I could have told them for free that resurrecting her was not sensible, but they did it anyway. And what we have is a sister in a permanent catatonic state. We cannot speak to her, we cannot get anything out of her. So as I said, I've got one person in a catatonic state, and one in a state where they won't come conscious, and both of them are important people that deserve to be alive. Speaking of people who do not deserve to be alive, hiding in the underneath of Helena's is a shadow veil. Walking freely. No, you do not know about this. This is a separate one. This is underneath Helena's. There's a shadow veil freely advertising for recruitment. And we can't get to him. Because apparently, according to politic, we can't just burn the place down. We also need a permit, and we've got no actual proof. We just have rumours that are pretty consistent and come from multiple people, and some of which have been given under torture, if I might say so very quietly. So, you can see my frustrations. It's been a fucking awful day. Now.
So, hang on. A shadow veil underneath Helena's.
Yeah, being sheltered at Helena's, living the life. Apparently he has a lovely bedroom. I'm told that he sits on a pile of diamonds and he rules the roost. He's quite relaxed about it all. They even give his name. Sorry.
What if he's accidentally burned down?
Yes, I've thought about it. I even considered trying to call that dragon and seeing what happened, but frankly, what we need is answers.
You need answers, not the shadow veil
what I
to
need
be taken care of.
Is rest. You can't take care of it that simply. Helena's is not your average place. It's not Slink's paradise in the back end of Carthon. It is fortified, it is armoured, and there are many, many, many people there. It is no simple walk-in, walk-out
no
job.
way I can just sneak in with someone.
The diplomat was caught trying to get in. I wish you all of the luck in the world if you wish to attempt the same thing. He, however, can get out, and you would lie as a corpse upon the ground. Please don't waste yourself unnecessarily. I like you people a lot, but you are not the most powerful people we have access to. Believe me when I tell you, if we can't get in, you can't get in. However,
it was worth an attempt to ask.
However, there is a lot of work that could be done, and honestly, I'm sick of this politicking, and I'm tired. I'm going to take my rest tonight. Somewhere other than the damn palace. I don't suppose it would be too much to ask for you to escort me to the Golden Griffin.
By all means.
Of course.
As you walk out, there is a guard clearly waiting. He goes to take you, to speak to you all, and then sees the Lady Azeldria, and by the way, she is wearing like a floor... She's not in her travelling breeches. She's like in a floor-length green gown. She's got a golden circlet on her head.
She's important.
She clearly looks like she's the queen of the world. They know very well to just step aside. They sort of bow deeply, my lady. And then one of them sort of taps Valigran's shoulder. Excuse me, my lady, if it's not rude to ask, do you think you will be staying with the Lady Azeldria for long? It's just... And then at that moment, the Lady Azeldria turns around. What is it? What are you pestering us for? My lady, these people are not allowed in the Lobel district without an escort, unless on pressing. Are you being ridiculous? Do you know who they are? These people here slew a dragon to save normal people. And then were witness to the death of my father. Are the protectors of wondrous things. They stepped into the lands of the Shadow Vale to save their friends. Do you mean they can't walk into the noble district? Here, give them this. And she hands each of you a pin. My lady, you can't do that. Do you want to test that theory? Is your name Anders, is it? Anders, there's some cleaning that needs doing in the sewers. Is that what you'd like to do with the rest of your career? I'll tell you what I can do. She turns to the rest of you. These pins will allow you free access to the Royal Palace, the Noble District, wherever the hell you want to go, you walk. Walk with pride. A lot of you.
Wow.
Please, and give this one to...
Okay.
Give this one to your friend Doctor. If anybody should walk freely in these damn palaces, it's him. They're saying they can't... I can't speak of these things out here. The things I can't speak of! Damn human politicking. Come to the land of the elves. It's simple. Alas, my mother has asked me to become a contact here, and that is what I shall do. Now, Shall we proceed?
Of
Absolutely.
course, lead the way.
Let's go.
Well, anyway, as she leads the way to the Golden Griffin, you can see she's weak. She needs an arm to lean on.
Okay.
I'll
The lot of you? Yeah, I don't think the halfling is the right person to lean on. She can lean on Glacius.
Yeah,
He was going to speak up. I'll lean and then hold
on.
on. That's really impractical. She'll lean on
Grab
Glacius.
hold of her waist and try to hold her up.
She is beyond exhausted, but as she walks to the front of the bar in the Golden Griffin, you see people part. Like, the fuck is she doing in a tavern? Yes, I know. Stop the damn stairs and get a lady a drink. Will the elder kiss wine? No, I do not want wine. Get me whiskey and lots of it. And these people, get them whatever they want, everything. Feed them a meal as well. The best you've got, all of it, and give us a private dining area. I don't want to be stared at by these... This is why people stare at me, isn't it? Because I'm about to call them crass individuals. All right. Please, go about your day as if I'm not present. Enjoy yourselves, revel, do what you wish. Gotta give a lady some space. I had a shit day and I want a drink. And you can see that the way she's speaking, yes, just to clarify, the pins don't just let you walk around the noble district. You can walk into the Furion Guard, the Dawn Guard, the Temple, the Royal Palace, anywhere you like. These pins are only worn by 4 people in the city. And they are Genkis, the head of security, the King and the Queen, and the Lady Azeldria. She's basically just anointed you as royalty. Trouble may come.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, we'll move on to that later. Eventually, the whiskey turns up. She downs it and just hands it straight over. And another one. And then another one comes through. And another one. Right, okay. And please, get these people a drink. What do you want? Drink. Speak up. Come on. You're heroes, not imbeciles.
Take a
Okay,
whiskey as well.
that sounds like a great one to me. Let's go for a whiskey as well.
Also whiskey. And you, Glacius?
Whiskey.
My lady? This is the bartender talking now, not Lady Azeldria. Looking to Val.
The strongest thing you got.
That'll be the whiskey. And you, priest? What can I get for you?
He is.
His power's dead. He's gonna reply never. Cool, yes, I remember that one. Okay, he'll take a glass of water, and at this point, Gideon turns to you all. I think I would like to retire to my room at the temple. Some old memories to revisit. See you all in the morning.
Of course.
Which point she says, where are you staying anyway? A lot of you.
I have no idea.
The burping bard.
Yeah, with the burping bard.
Casey doesn't know that.
No, you're not. Gentlemen, do you have 2, 3, 4 rooms available? He sort of looks up and you can see him, sort of his face is going, no, do you have them available? I'm not asking you to vacate rooms, I'm asking if you have rooms available. My lady, I have 3 rooms available. But one is a twin room, if you wish. She turns to you all. Will that suffice? 3 rooms, and one of which is a twin room?
Yes, of course.
Excellent. Please,
Sure.
get them ready. I'll retire to them when they're ready. Thank you very much. And she puts a bag of gold on the table. The gentleman sort of opens it, and his eyes just go, like, so wide they're untrue. I think she's just paid for pretty much... She could have bought his tavern. She doesn't really pay any attention to it. She just walks off. And you see him lean his hand in and pick one out and look through it to, like, check... Not to check it's real, but to see if he really believes it, because it wasn't a bag of gold or a bag of rubles. She just handed him a bag of diamonds. She sort of walks off, and at this point, one of the tavern goers sort of leans over, and my lady Azeldria, and she goes, no, don't bow. If you pay in diamonds, people are likely to stare. Well, that's what I had, all right? And she sort of, you can just ask for what you want. And she says, yes, but I don't want to. In my city, the royalty walk amongst the people, and we walk freely, and it's good for the people, and it's good for us. A sense of humanity and normality. No, we're not gods. We're just people like you. This people needs a damn fucking drink. She leans over to the tavern keeper. I don't suppose... Do you need anything more to keep them coming? Okay, no, I do not. The food will be ready shortly, please. There's a private dining area over there. You've paid... It's fine, my lady. Please. And she just sort of wanders off and unlocks a room. And a room is unlocked for you. You can see that the tavern help is a rather nervous-looking sort of 16-year-old girl in a sort of matronly apron that is a little too large for her, and she sort of bows so low that her nose almost touches the ground as she nearly falls forwards. Would you like to choose from the menu, or would you like us to send out food when you're ready? The soldier sort of looks at her. Please, I'm just a human. Just like you, just like your mother. Come, what's your name? My name is Clary. Okay, Clary, here's how it's going to go. You're going to go out there, you're going to pick 5 of your favourite meals, and you're going to bring them out to us. You're going to keep the whiskey coming. Get a decanter of wine on the table for these people, and perhaps a bottle of whiskey actually might be better. Come when we need you. Maybe bring us some water. And then tomorrow you'll report to the Royal Palace. In whatever clothes you have appropriate. And you will say, here. She hands her a small... It's not a pin like the previous ones, it's like a sort of marker that enables passage. Says, this will get you in. You say that you are looking for the Lady Azeldria and that she wishes to meet you. I am in need of a new maid, and you are in need of a pay rise. And some normality. Let's bring you back to humanity. Thank you very much, Clary. And she puts a small pouch in her hand, and you see as Clary looks away, she's, what the fuck, oh my god, you know, her eyes, she's able to buy her family a new house. She says, I really must come to the taverns more often. People seem starstruck, it's terrible. I hope the food's good. Anyway. Please, sit, eat, drink. I gave you those pins because what you did, the way you treated my father, your bravery, and your willingness to step in front of the common man was astounding. One of your party is the son of a king, the other is the last SMR in the country. One of you is the daughter of the headmaster of Magus Arcane. One of you is an inventor the likes of which we've never seen before, and one of you is a fully fledged member of the sisterhood. Why should you walk in shame? Please tell me. Realistically. Glacius, I need a pass to walk to see your brother, who is now a war hero? I don't understand the politics of these human lands. Do you know that in Serenia, any elf at any time can walk in and demand to see the Queen? And demand justice. Talk to her as a normal person. I understand that there are more humans, and that might be a bit of a problem for the Royal Palace if all 60,000 or 80,000, or however many it is, live in this city these days, came to visit at the same time, but realistically, a little bit more walking out. I don't think the king has ever been seen in the working district. How terrible is that? Well, this is why the king and queen are so frustrated with me. My politicking. I just don't believe in it. I suppose I should ask.
Sounds like I really...
Sorry, go on, Roscoe.
Sounds like I really do need to pay the Elven Lands a visit sometime. Interesting place.
Serenia is fabulous, but it has its own problems. It is racist to a fault. I don't believe in the value of people who are not elves, which is quite honestly ridiculous. My mother doesn't believe it either, but the council do. I have a total distaste for anybody who's not a mortal, who doesn't have thousands of years of memories to call upon, and frankly, it's pointless. You people get more done in 60 years than we get done in 6,000. Anyway. And they rely too much entirely on magic. Honestly, if somebody's to bring a siege weapon or engage us in a sword fight, we'd be royally fucked. And because of the fact that it's only elves, there are a few of us. And we are insular and do not look out to the world, but I will grant you it is a beautiful place, and a place where a lot is right. Nevertheless, I should really ask, is there anything that any of you need?
At this point, no, I think
I think we're fine.
I think we're good for now. Help
I
us
think
more than
I
anyone.
think there's people that need things a lot more.
There are many.
Yes.
But there is perhaps one thing I could do. She looks down. So ridiculous that you have to do it this way. Now, you see. She pulls out a bag and she starts looking at rubles. And you can see she has absolutely no idea what she's doing with these. She's never had to deal with money in her life, and she sort of slides the bag over to Roscoe. I think that...
Yeah, I'll happily help.
I think a price of a place to stay permanently is somewhere in the realms of 6,000. Please, can you
6,000 rubles.
counter out 10,000 and I'll trust you.
Okay. I'll just count out from this bag 10,000 then.
Take them for yourselves and get yourself somewhere to stay. Get yourself some residency.
Each?
No.
Or...
No. Not... Well, I mean, she would probably give you 6,000 each, but the DM won't. No, 10,000 she's handed you and says, look, that's at least enough to purchase somewhere to stay in town. I believe you have to speak to the... Honestly, I'm rubbish at this. Hold on. And she reaches into her pocket and realizes that the music has stopped. She goes to Discord. And
She's omnipotent.
She goes to Discord and she clicks play. And then returns to her conversation. She reaches in and gets an amulet and she speaks into it.
Discord.
And you can see she's not quite used to using this amulet. Amon! It would be really... You don't need to shout, my lady. What is it you would like? We're in... Where are we? The Golden Griffin? Yes, the Golden Griffin.
Griffin.
That was a DM question, not a her question. She knows where she is. I haven't got a fucking clue.
No, again, we're in the Golden Griffin.
Thanks. Because we're in the Golden Griffin. We're in a private dining room and... Oh, can you just get here? And about a minute later, he steps through a wall. And... Well...
Of course.
Wow. Okay.
My lady, you
that was an
didn't
entrance.
say you had company. I see. Well.
We
Yes, well, I guess I didn't mean to really reveal that to you guys. Well, never mind. Hi, how are you all doing? Glacius, have you spoken to your brother? Or seen your brother?
Unfortunately, yes.
I've asked my mother, but she says you must beseech her yourself if you want to get in with Dragon's Blood, and that means a long journey and a lot of racism. My people are unlikely to help except for a large fund. I do not have enough sway. But I do know of a...
Thank you for trying.
I do know of a Dragonborn healer that may have access to it. She's a long way away. It's a long journey, and your friends would not be able to make it. In the mountains, near Zorenia, Dragonborn healer lives in a small hut in amongst the Orc tribes of the Burning Hand. It's a tall peak. Any of you not familiar with the cold would not be able to make the trip. But you perhaps might. My advice, though, is to wait a little bit. I know that must be hard. But people are doing everything they can. I had news that you, my lady, expended yourself in a rather ridiculous fashion. Nevertheless, the blood of the royal elves is something different. Something that had not been tried. I hope for your sake that he recovers. Regardless, my lady, you called me for a task? What do you need? I want these people to have somewhere to live in the town. I gave them 10,000 rubles. That should cover it, right? And he sort of laughs. My lady, the Paupers District, it would cost them 15,000 for a home. Oh. I can't live in the Paupers District. How much do they need? He looks at you. Perhaps I could secure you somewhere to... You planning on staying in Justern for a long time?
I think we are.
For now, I will rent somewhere for you all. It'll be in the Workers' District, if that is okay. We should see about getting you access to the nobles.
Yeah,
My lady, why are they wearing the pins of the royals? She looks over. I gave them to them. They should be... He sort of shakes his head. My lady, politics do not work the same way here. Keep those. If the lady wants you to have them, they will get you into the royal palace in a time of need, but please, wear them on the insides of your coats. In the meantime, perhaps... He pulls out, from the tiny little pocket, he pulls out a large notepad. Begins to write 5 formal scrolls, and he scrolls them up and ties them neatly with red ribbon and hands them to each of you. These will grant you access to the noble district, although you will still need to tell the guards where it is you're wishing to visit. You can merely tell them you're going shopping. That is not a problem. It is more that you will, perhaps being seen around the temple, Fury Guard, the Dawn Guard, etc., you may be questioned, at which point, if you wish to reveal your pins if it is time of urgency, by all means, but otherwise, please behave decorously. We will see to getting you perhaps anointed as nobles in time, or at least some of you. We must work something out with this doctor situation. Is that still what they're calling him? Doctor? I feel like I should tell a joke every time I say his name. Regardless. That should at least get you sorted in the district, and I shall secure you some livings. The 10,000 rubles may go some way in this city, but not far. If you wish to secure work, perhaps you wish to speak to the Burping Bard. They are good for adventurers. And the home that I'm thinking of that is currently neglected is very close by. Is there anything I can do for any of you?
You wouldn't
There
happen
is
to know
one
where
thing.
Cleona is?
Where? Who, sorry?
Cleona?
Kiliana. I believe she was frolicking in the, Dancing Lady. She has a room there at the moment. How does that woman operate? She doesn't
I do
appear
not
to
know.
have a job or any noble title or anything, and as far as I know, she works for a propaganda-mongering sisterhood as a front. And then she secures a room in a place where I couldn't secure a room. It just astounds me. Regardless, she seems to have a
She's
room in the
mysterious.
Dancing Lady.
Who's talking right now? I'm very confused.
Amon.
Okay, I thought he was, but
Yeah.
it also sounded very much like the other girl. So I was
Yeah,
like,
I don't have a voice for these two. I can't be dealing with that because they talk too much.
No.
No, she would be a bit more rude. Yes, I really don't comprehend her. But anyway, she has a room at the Dancing Lady, but, well, he looks at all of you. Perhaps you should send the Lady Validrin or perhaps Roscoe to contact her and meet her in a more... I don't mean to be rude, Glacius, but you do stick out a little bit. And,
I've stuck out my whole life. I'm used to it.
your friend...
I wouldn't want
yeah, no, sorry.
other attention.
Well, you will be gathering attention, whether you like it or not, but perhaps we may find you some repute. Your mercenary company, word of what has happened to your brother, will you be sending for more men?
Indeed.
Excellent. I would like to set you up officially, or at least one of my men will, speak to Persivilius at the courthouse. He deals with official groups and such, and he will be able to write you up a proper contract. He'll be able to take contracts officially and as such. It's quite a simple process, really. I won't bore you with it, but regardless, we'll get that done for you. Is that why you were seeking the Lady Kiliana?
Yes, my brother mentioned that something was left for her.
Yes, Kiliana is, well, as she normally does with any diplomacy, she has passed it on to someone else. I will see about getting that passed on to you. Where will you be staying tonight?
Thank you. Here, I think.
Yeah.
I
City
took
perfect
the
rooms.
liberty of securing them rooms here. You see, Emon's just shaking his head. You really do just operate in your own tune, Is Eldry, don't you? Well, regardless. Does anybody need anything else? Lady Validrin, your father is in town. Are you aware?
Yep.
Excellent. You might need to see Lord Rialdan about that if you want to remain unnoticed.
Already did.
Well, you all move fairly fast, don't you? Good. Will any of you be taking up membership in the Major Sarkhan, by the way?
I'm not sure if I can.
Yeah,
but
you can.
that
They
would
take
be an
priests.
interesting
They take those in the Divine Arts as well.
one. Okay, then that would be an interesting one to look into.
Enrollment isn't mandatory, but mages and priests who are not attached to either the temple or the Major Sarkhan tend to be looked on a bit shadily unless they operate a store. Like anarchists, if you will. It's usually good to have your power behind someone's foot. And frankly, anything that stands against the Furian Guard right now is in my favour. Although... He looks at Glacius. I'm well aware you're not a paladin. Nor are you one for the holy righteousness and speaking out of your own arse. Nevertheless, I could do with some eyes inside the Furian Guard that I trust. If in time, perhaps you might claim membership. I can have a bard sing of your deeds or something so that they put you to a higher position. Very well, and you won't enjoy your stay, but enjoy it anyway. I tell you, they are all self-righteous assholes. And Kyo speaks up. Mr. Amon, right? Master? Lord? Is that right? Amon will do. I've heard of you. It's just... Looks down. Never mind. Speak, little one. What is it? It's just that... I spoke to Master Sicris, and he wanted to do some lessons to get together, but I can't get into the... Oh, a scroll for you as well. Allow me to do that. Signs him out, and yes, you and Master Sicris will get along quite well, I believe. You should also enroll at the Magus Arcane. They may be quite surprised by your talents. But talents? I'm just an inventor. It's silly, really. It's nothing special. Heyman rolls his eyes and looks over to you guys. He doesn't even know, does he?
No, he really doesn't.
Had a hard life beforehand. I don't think he understands the true...
Tell me, young man, have you ever had your own laboratory? He sort of looks up. I had a place where I worked for one of my masters. It was a long time. No, your own laboratory. No, I've never had anything of my own other than my stuff that I make. And, well, and this, and he gets out the light box that Iglesias gave him and unveils it. And Amon sort of looks on. And someone needs to do right by you. There is a spare laboratory up at the Arcade of the Endless Wonders. I shall have it fitted out for you. How would you feel about selling things? Maybe a little shop? I'm not very good with people. She says, no, you'll have somebody who works for you. You'll have a shop. You'll have a shopmaster. You'll have somebody hired. They'll sell the goods for you. You just keep doing what you enjoy, and there'll be a large laboratory upstairs. Well, and with that, Emon sort of looks down and... Yes, I think it's about time this... Maybe we need to learn something from the Lady of Zeldria and do things improperly occasionally. Swing our power where it's necessary. I look forward to coming by your store and purchasing some of your wares. There is one thing I heard of. Apparently you have some spectacles. Lord Navanius said that allowed us to see people who are invisible. Now, I might look a bit silly in them, but they would be quite useful to me. If you have any. Keolux takes a pair of glasses out of his pocket and, of course, take them here. And you see that Amon casts something on himself and his arm disappears from the elbow downwards. And he puts the glasses on and, well, I will very much look forward to using your shop. And I'm sure that you are going to make yourself rather rich. I just looks down. Rich? I don't want to be rich, but these people can manage the money. I just want to be happy. Yeah, that might be useful. Well.
Notice to self, one more person I can't hide from.
Oh yeah, very much so. I don't think you could hide from Amon particularly well in the first place, let alone now. Anyway, he looks around the group. Is there anything else I can do for anyone? Because frankly, we're in...
This is a long shot, but...
Oh! And he looks to the door. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you ever so slightly, Roscoe. As food has arrived. And before you, you see 5 plates. And you see the lady, Clary, kind of come in and then look at Amon and look at the door again and look at Amon again and look at the door. And Lady Azeldra leans down and goes, "Don't ask questions. It's okay. No, he doesn't need feeding. He'll be fine. And yes, he came through the door, I promise. You just missed it." She winks. All right, very good. And thank you very much. Mrs. Clary, she'll be my new maid, by the way. And Amon just sort of shakes his head again. All right, you do, you love. In front of you, you see 4 plates of steaming pheasant, inside which is placed a small guinea fowl, inside of which is an egg that is soft and runny yolk. There are potatoes to the edge and multiple vegetables, and a large lobster is at the centre of the table, of which you may take pieces. Kyo sort of looks over it. Well,
is this how the rich eat all the time?
Amon looks down. Those that can afford it and have large guts, yes. Some of us prefer to eat a bit more sensibly. Rumour tells that, you are talented in more than one way. Then Lord Rialdan was raving about the meal you provided for him. You can see at this point, Kyo is just not unable to speak. He's not used to this man of compliment. He sort of, There's the group of you tuck in. He looks over. Roscoe, you had a question?
Long shot, but that little trick you used to get here. Is there any chance that could ever be in the realm of possibility for me?
I think that you might be able to do it by removing the wall and replacing it behind you. I think they call it pass wall. But no, what I did was a little different. Unless you grow some pointier ears and your skin turns a bit different, if you catch my drift. And yes, the Lady Azeldra knows, fear not. But as for the rest of them, yes. So unless you can do that, you might struggle with the process.
Alright, okay. Well, that's a shame. That could have been an incredibly useful little trick.
It saves a lot of time. However, occasionally you surprise people when you don't mean to, and for that I apologise. I usually keep it to myself, but the Lady Azeldra has a habit of saying, "at your convenience," and meaning absolutely this instant right now. So I thought I'd better hurry. Luckily I wasn't far away. Anyway, well, if that's that, I'll be back shortly. And he heads to the bar. And as you all tuck into your food and enjoy, you hear a sort of raucous sound outside. You can hear Amon shouting. And he comes back in and... "My lady, what exactly did you use to pay for this?" She said, I handed them a bag of diamonds. Why, what's the problem? Yes, perfectly cut diamonds, each of which was worth approximately 40,000 rubles. And there were 50 in there. Your mother will slightly debate you spending quite that amount of money. Here, I've retrieved some of them. The tavern owner isn't majorly happy, but he's still made more money than he's made in the last year tonight. Please, don't just hand them out to random people. She hands them back and looks down and they're commonplace in Serenia. Why should we be so careful with them? He looks around because, frankly, you'll get robbed or stabbed or murdered, or he will get stabbed or robbed or murdered because he's walking around with perfectly cut diamonds he can't sell to anyone because nobody has the money. I have given him a contact through which he will be able to sell them. Nobody will be able to sell these. It's madness. Here, he flicks one to Velidrin. See if you can sell one. That'll create some interesting rumours around the streets. I look forward to hearing them. And he flicks you a diamond. And this is a perfectly cut diamond. It is worth 20,000 rubles. 40,000 rubles, sorry. Sell it quietly. You've got some common sense to you. A lot of you. Unlike some people. And he looks at Lady Azeldra. Regardless, Lady Azeldra, will you be coming back to the palace? She says, no, I have booked a room. And I'll be staying here. And he just... Alright, on one condition. He will not bother you, but there will be a guard outside your room. And that is final. Very well. Also, a gentleman called Anders came to the palace. Said that you said he would be cleaning sewers. I've let him off with a day off and a pay rise. Please, try and speak to the guards a little more gently. And with that, as you tuck into your meal, we shall take a second short break. I apologise for the extra short breaks, but right now I'm going through a little bit of pain, so we're going a little bit slower. Welcome back. We resume as you guys are eating a meal with the Lady Azeldria in the middle of a tavern. Amon is sipping his whiskey in the corner. I really should get back to the Royal District, but it's kind of nice being out in the town. Maybe you're onto something, Lady Azeldria. Well, she looks over. Well, I wanted to go to the Dancing Lady, but I thought maybe... Yes, well, maybe. Perhaps that wasn't the best place for me to be seen. Even I do have a slight idea of decorum. She looks at Amon. You think you could disguise me in some way? Maybe I can go undercover, you know? So it looks over to you guys. Maybe with an escort. You could take the form of Solara again for a day or two, and I might let you go play, but only if these people escort you. She looks over. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Drinks on me? Yes, well, let's focus on what's important first. Is your brother? Doctor's sister? And one sort of glares. You what? Oh. Well, I'm guessing that's now public information. Do keep it to yourselves. Only 4 people are aware of it. And yes, I've been accused of murder. It was quite exciting. No, I didn't kill him. Kill her.
I thought as much.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm sure that's what all the killers will say, but regardless, I didn't kill her. I didn't really see the point. Frankly, princess or not, she hasn't really got any sway or power. The king and queen aren't likely to die tomorrow, and, well, their son is still alive, so I don't really understand why anybody would kill her, to be honest. And that's the biggest problem, is I don't know who to suspect if I don't know who would kill her. Obviously...
Well, someone could have done it to lure Doctor out.
2 relatively unknown prince and princesses that we hid so carefully. I don't see it.
He is the next in line for the throne.
Yes, but about 7 people knew that. And none of them are on my list of suspects. Weirdly enough. I am under the impression that somebody got wind of somebody being hidden at the castle and looked after carefully, and decided to kill them in case they were important, without any knowledge of who they were. I could be barking up the wrong tree, but I don't see how else it works. Am I meant to suspect the Queen? The King? The Lord Navanius? Lord Rialdan? Yakatur? Genghis?
I honestly don't know.
The only other person who knew was that idiot at the Furian Guard, but... Although I don't like Trevelyan, I do trust that his heart is in the right place. Trevelyan is the Lord High Guard of the Furian Guard. He is the head of the order. They were the only people who knew who Doctor and I think you were, and the Lady Azeldria and her mother, Semestra. And that is his list. That is his list. And he says, "Well, you tell me which of these incredibly important people to our entire country is a suspect, and I'll start worrying. But until that moment, I'll assume it's some idiot who's got a really good disguise." That's all I can think of. And in all honesty, I'm not even pursuing the killer. But we are pursuing ways of restoring the princess. As the Sisterhood decided to make their own decision, and words have been spoken with Lady Clarice, and her somewhat stupid decision to resurrect the girl. But hey, we have resources now, we might as well use them. I need to get back. Next, another scotch.
It was a pleasure.
Yes. Also, hey, you slayed a dragon. That's different.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, you participated in the slaying. And you said apparently you saw another one?
Yes.
Well, dragons don't exist in Sogravia. So, that's a bit of a problem. They haven't existed in Sogravia for 240 years. And rumours will fly fairly quickly. And none of them are chromatic either, so that's a problem. Frankly, I don't really know what to do when somebody turns up on your doorstep and says, "Hey, dragons are back." But have any ideas? Let me know. In the meantime, we'll just hope that they stay well away.
Well, so far, we've only really had a real threat from one. So,
Got a threat from one.
unless something,
The other one decided to
well,
burn down an entire bandit encampment, which frankly is kind of convenient, but at the same time slightly worrying, as he may just have seen them as food. And I believe you, next to the Lady Zeldria, might have had something to do with his direction of face. So, yes, unless we can send you around
However.
to corral the dragons. Go on, Roscoe.
that one dragon that we know of that killed off the bandits. If luck so has it, then they may well not be a problem for any of us and just be a problem for some other lawless idiots, and,
Roscoe,
we may just get very lucky.
Roscoe, do you have no concept of dragon? Right, dragons are thinking creatures, intelligent.
Yeah.
And most usually greedy, destructive. This is
Not
of the
s-
chromatic type. Greedy, destructive, dangerous, and frankly
Of
with their
course.
own set of morals. A dragon in Sogravia is a problem, whether we like it or not. Lawless idiots are still citizens. And we have a
True.
duty to protect the world. Perhaps not you, but I have a duty to protect the country. Not just the ones I
Yeah.
like. Now, I will tell you that the bandit encampment that it came across was incredibly convenient, don't get me wrong. But it is unlikely that they will only strike down murderers. I don't think the dragons get involved enough in human politics for that, and as far as I'm aware, the Lady Zeldria is the only reason that the bandits were its choice of target. She looks a little sheepish and goes, well, I was quite persuasive. Yes. And he turns around and says, well, considering we have a whole 2 people capable of doing that in the whole of Sogravia, possibly 3 or 4 if Gilda and Rialdan are on top of their game, and perhaps another 7 or 8 who are capable of fighting a dragon, and even then they would need severe assistance. You can see why dragons might be a problem. Also, despite their solitary nature, dragons tend to follow in flocks. They're very territorial, but they tend to live in similar areas. Which means if there are 2, there are usually more.
Oh.
And frankly, a host of dragons is not really what I'm feeling right now, but at least I think it's fair to say that they're unlikely to have come from the Shadow Vale. Reports say, and from my experience, dragons seen in the Shadow Vale tend to be of the undead type and don't tend to cross the border as they can't breathe. Dragons can't survive in the air of the Shadow Plane, so we can at least tick that one off our box. I don't know if it's good or bad that we've got 2 separate enemies, but it is what it is. And, well, at least the dragons aren't likely to be assassinating princesses. Positives, eh?
I don't know if assassinating
That's
would
at
be a
least
good
a
word.
solace.
Yes, well, the princess was assassinated, and at least the dragons are one person I can rule off my list of suspects. Regardless, it's getting late. My lady, if you might not mind me saying, you look like shit. Get yourself to your room. I'm
Damn.
going to bed. Good night. And he steps through the wall.
Fucking wizards.
I wish he was. I wish he was a wizard.
I still
Is
wish I
he
could pull the
then?
trick. That trick's
Not.
incredible.
Is he God?
It's just a drow. Just a really, really, really cool drow.
Yeah.
That you renamed to Caviar.
Went along with it, so don't just put it
I
on
know,
us,
but
okay?
it's terrible Caviar. It's all fine till I have to speak about him, and then I'm like, yeah, Caviar the drow over there. Kavir. Kavia. Kavir.
Kavir, that's what his name is?
Kavir. Yes,
Oh,
not caviar.
sounds better.
Now I can
Session
see why
2.
the name caviar became a thing.
Now,
Absolutely.
as you're enjoying your caviar meal with pheasant and lobster and guinea fowl, and it finally comes out, and the lady, Clary, comes in. Begins to clear the table. You see she's struggling a little with a tray of lobster, but she manages. She doesn't spill anything. Puts another bottle of whiskey slyly upon the table. Your rooms, would you like me to show you them, or will the keys do?
I think for now the keys.
Very well. You're in 7, 8, 12, and 14. And she hands the three of you the keys and Keo a key for the 14. No, that's rubbish. She hands you the 12. Let's start again. She starts you hand 10, 11, and 14. And then she hands the key to 12 to the Lady Azeldria. Says, perhaps I might escort you, my lady. That would be good, Clary. And perhaps you could come and help me get out of this dress. Yes, does your landlord, master, boss, what do you call them? My father. Sort of looks a bit cheap. Oh. Will your father be requiring your services any more this evening? I think he might make an exception for you, my lady. She smiles. All right, very well. Well, come on then, Clary, lead the way. And the two of them head down the corridor to what is the penthouse suite as such. And, yes, you have 10, 11, and 14, the keys. The rooms are numbered. It can't be that hard to find your rooms. And you guys are finally left to just the four of you. Is there anything you'd like to discuss, or anything else you'd like to do? It's approximately 9:30 at night.
Where's that whiskey?
On the table, in a bottle.
Let's get drunk.
Yeah, let's crack open a bottle. And
Alright, make a Constitution saving throw for the amount you've already had.
Constitution saving throw. Yeah, that's...
For-
Oh, no,
for-
that's a...
for me as
that's a-
well.
So 14.
No, I just need it from the halfling right now. It's got a bit less of a body.
Con save
Okay.
Yeah.
to 15.
15, okay. Yeah, all of you are fine. I'd like to take the dice from your con check, personally, and just add your save instead. We won't let you re-roll, that's advantage. Yes, as you sit there, you begin to tell tales of a short halfling with a blonde bob called Crystal. The rest of the group are a bit... Very well, whatever. But tales are told. And yeah, is there anything the group would like to discuss as you crack open your second bottle of whiskey? Apart from Crystal's cleavage. Oh, bye. Play it down! Play it down!
That'd be great.
Welcome
Oh,
back.
dear.
Play it back!
Alive!
Live but without camera. We'll come back to that in a second. Yes, for the rest of you, is there anything you guys would like to discuss?
I guess I just tell them like about what's their name is? The person that I'm supposed to investigate.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say all that information is going to be shared. Athenwine and you know, Roscoe can tell you about his job. Would Roscoe tell them about the job?
Would they want me to actually share it with the group, or
Yeah,
is this more of a
it's
thing
a
that...
job quest from the Sisterhood. They've worked for the Sisterhood.
Yeah, okay, right, well I'll...
You're seeking out a shadow veil. It's not like you're trying to, you know, start a
Yeah,
gangster
okay.
gangster corpse.
Yeah,
I would join.
I'll share it all then.
Okay. There is one thing that you guys didn't get around to, which we will mention tomorrow, but it's fair to say, Val, you might want to let the party know that you were also asked, handed a note by a halfling.
Oh yeah. No, the mercenaries thing.
Yeah, there's some merc work. If you head to the Goblin Scourge.
Goblins. Yeah.
That's a tavern elsewhere. If you guys wish to, at some point, you may be able to get some work there. But other than that, we'll let the evening peter out as you will get yourselves stonkingly drunk and all up to your rooms. When you come into your rooms, each of you will find that you have a living room, a bedroom, a kitchen, a dining area, a piano in each of your rooms.
Jesus.
Rooms at the Golden Griffin on average cost 600 rubles a night. It is the most reputable establishment, and you're probably staying next door to, like, the king's nephew and, like, one of the high priests and maybe a large, you know, a really fancy security guard and maybe, like, somebody high up in the Mage's Arcane, maybe one of the nobles. These rooms don't come cheap, and they are for very, you know, special people, so... as Roscoe gets to his room, he discovers the minibar, where he finds champagne and vodka and all sorts of other exciting drinks, and You can pick him up off the floor tomorrow morning. And yeah, we shall let you all take a long rest.
Fuck yeah.
Finally.
Just for reference, can we say that Glacius took the double room with Kyo?
I assumed as much. Yeah, and Kyo sort of flicked through the minibar. He was vaguely interested, but then you realise that he wasn't interested for that purpose as he begins taking some chemicals out of his bag and making the vodka all sorts of exciting colours and then putting it back in the cupboard. Mischievous little shit. And then he sort of goes over to the yeah, he goes over to his own little bedroom. No, Kyo has only taken one small mouthful of the wine and left it at that.
I was saying Glacius is too wasted.
Oh yeah, Glacius was completely off his face. Glacius is currently face down. He's kneeling on the floor with his face on the bed. I think Valedrian probably restrained herself a little bit. Is that fair, or is she also wasted?
I'm wasted. I heard Dad's in town.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're sleeping on the piano. Roscoe's inside the minibar, but Kyo has gone to bed like a normal person and slept neatly in the room. And as you all get your long rest, you awake to a knocking on your door, most specifically Glacius.
I go to the door and I'm like still in that, hangover stir. I'm just like, who is it?
The Lady Azeldria? That is announced by a maid, not by her.
He's like, oh shit. He kind of like yells to everyone else. It's just like, Lady Azeldria is here. We should compose ourselves.
No, it's just you. It's just you.
I open the door.
It's about a minute and a half's walk to the next room, and you've got no idea where the other rooms were. You were too drunk to remember last night. Yeah, you just open the door.
Yeah, that's true. I open the door for her.
Lady Azeldria looks at you, and Clary's in front of her. Well, did you even get undressed? Looks like you had a good night. Regardless, I'm going to see your brother. I just wanted to let you know. I will not expend myself quite so unwisely, but I'll do what I can. When you guys are up and about, it is about 10 to noon currently. You might, yes.
Probably get up then.
Morning has passed. I believe there's also... Clary, would you mind? And she picks up a breakfast tray on the floor. You see a cold breakfast, which has clearly been brought up after the hot breakfast was left outside your room for 10 minutes. You didn't hear the knock on the door.
Kyo has ways.
Oh, Kyo's not in the room. There is an empty hot breakfast tray, but apart from that, Kyo's not in the room. However, as you begin to come to and look around, you see a note on the table. And as you read it, it says, Dear Master, I know that perhaps I should have stayed and waited, but I was a little bit excited for my meeting with Sicris this morning, and frankly I tried to wake you, but even the fire cannon couldn't manage it. I hope that you are well, and I will be with Master Sicris until 3 p.m. I do not know where to meet you, so I shall await you at the Burping Bard if I don't hear otherwise. P.S. If you're feeling a bit rough, take a sip of the drink on the table and pass it to your friends. Here.
That's nice.
There is a nice large bottle on the table. You take a big swig, do you? Yeah, you feel clear as the air. You haven't got a hangover. Feel fantastic. Everything's great. You're nice and awake. You're with it. It's 10 to 12. You're going, oh shit, I've missed the morning. You're feeling great and you're absolutely fucking famished.
Yeah, I eat the food and then before I do that, I go to everyone else just to give them the hangover cure Kyo made.
As you knock on Valedrian's door, Val comes to the door, I assume, somewhat slightly okay. Maybe-ish. And as she opens the door.
What's up?
I
am so
Typical Valedrian speak. What's up?
No, I get it. Kyo's already gone. It's like 11.
It's noon.
There's some things I want to get done today. It's noon.
It's 10 to noon.
Glacius looks at like the little clockwork amulet he has. It's like, oh, it's noon, and he it's like, have some of this. Keo made it. It is the best hangover cure I've ever had.
Okay, you proceed on down after Val takes a swig. Val, you're feeling phenomenal. There is a cold breakfast tray outside your room. But Glacius, make a perception check.
That's a nat 20.
Okay, you hear a banging coming from the next room down. As you head on down to the door, you see that it is Roscoe's door. Yeah,
Hi.
feel free to knock. The banging is coming from
Wait,
inside.
Dad.
Can I assume what, like I think I know what it is.
Quite possibly, but right now you haven't worked it out. So, yeah, as you knock on the door, you don't get a
That's true.
response, but
I'm gonna...
you hear Roscoe's muffled voice from inside going, I seem to be stuck. Roscoe, I need a dexterity check with disadvantage to see if you can get out of the drinks cupboard. Which you've somehow managed to shut yourself in.
Hey,
Check with disadvantage, you say?
Yep.
can I try to pick the door to the lock on his door?
We'll let you get there in a second if you can't get out. It's a 7. Yeah, no, you're stuck. All right, Val, you're up. Slide a hand check. No disadvantage.
Oh God, 15.
Oh, that'll do. It's nice and easy. These aren't particularly secure. You slip the latch. You come in and you see that the drinks cabinet is now halfway across into the middle of the room and it's face down. What Roscoe hasn't realised is that the door is against the floor.
Yes.
I pull it up, like lift
As you
it
lift
up.
it up, you
so
just
that
hear
way-
him tumbling around, the crash of bottles inside. And he bursts out the door. He is wearing most of the drinks cabinet. In a complete state, and his cloak is upside down over his face. And he's wearing it around his waist with his arms through it. I don't even know how you fix that problem. There's a lovely bathroom, though.
Glacius,
Where
like,
the fuck am I?
I got this image of Glacius
here,
just
have
pulling the
some of
hood down, and Roscoe like, where am I?
Here, drink this.
As he takes a large mouthful, he feels a bit better, but even Kyo's mighty cure isn't quite solving this one. Roscoe, you walk into the bathroom, and you see a bath you poured last night. Somehow.
Right.
It is full of cold water, and it looks like salvation to you, and you jump straight into it, clothing and everything.
Yep.
And as you shake your head
I
and
was
take
about to
another
do
swig,
exactly the same.
as you take another swig of Kyo's magic nectar, you feel a lot with it, although you're very wet. Yes. I don't really know what else to tell you. You're drenched, and your clothing is somewhat covered in various liquids. But apart from that, you're alright.
I'll see if I can take a moment to at least clean off the worst of the stuff that's covering everything.
You might need some assistance with that.
I have prestidigitation.
After 10 minutes of solid hard work, Valedrian finally manages to get the stains out of your clothing and somewhat fix your hair and dry you off. The three of you are...
Seems some bad hangovers.
It's now 10 to 1 in the afternoon, and it took a whole hour to recover Roscoe from the inside of a drinks cabinet. What a waste of time. What will the party be doing? And I will allow you to go anywhere but the shops.
Can I go back to sleep?
Sure, but you're feeling fantastic. Kyo's liquid's pretty amazing.
Okay, never mind then.
I would like
Cheers,
to
bloody
head to
genius.
the courthouse.
Head to the courthouse, you say? Okay.
Yeah.
As you head to the courthouse, you are greeted by a small dwarf with her spectacles on. He's aged with grey hair and he looks down. Process of business.
Who was Glacius was too blasted last night to remember. What was the guy I was supposed to meet?
Persevilius.
Persevilius.
Persevilius. Fourth office,
Persevilius.
right-hand door. Are you expected?
I have no idea. I don't know if I'm expected today.
You don't know if you're expected or
I am
not.
expected to visit.
If you don't know if you're expected or not, it's fair to say
I was
he's
just
probably...
told to come visit him.
He probably has no clue if you don't know whether you're expected or... Fourth
Listen,
door,
I was told by the hand
office,
of the king
go.
to come visit him.
Well, That explains why you haven't got a clue what's going on. That man works to his own tune. Go on, piss off. Get down there. 4th door, right-hand side. As you walk down one corridor. No! That's the courtrooms. Other way. Other way. That way. Come on. You head down and you see a large black door with a golden wrapper upon it, with a head of a lion.
I knock.
Okay. And opening the door is an orc. He is a small, stocky orc with another pair of spectacles on his nose and an important-looking manual under his shoulder. Oh, well. You must be the Dragonborn, I guess. That's fairly obvious, isn't it? No, I'm talking nonsense. Come on, do come in. I'll pour some tea. And he goes over to his tea set and he pours out some cups. And, do take a seat, all of you. My goodness, you're a little large, aren't you? Oh, well, I'm sure you'll make do. Yes, presents of business. First of all, I have this from the Lord Amon for you. He hands you a key on a necklace.
Thank you.
Excellent. You will find the safe at within the courthouse. It is safe number 2641, I believe. That is where it is being kept. Unfortunately, the key was to something else. I don't quite know what that key is meant to do for you. But I do believe we have the code here. He hands you over a document that is sealed, and it is it simply says Frostborn on it. And as you open it, it has a 6-digit passcode. Oh, very well. Is there anything else I might be assisting you with? Oh, yes, that. Bear with me. The Lord Amon gave me... Well, frankly, he gave me absolutely nothing, but he did order me quite directly. Yes, we have here, and then he hands over a large folder. These are the deeds to the house of 17 Winter Lane. You will find them... they give you everything necessary. There is also the key and presents. And I have taken the liberty, I hope you do not mind, of sending over a construction worker tomorrow morning. I figured you would not be appropriate this morning. Rumour has it you spent a night up drinking with... Well, rumour is rumours. Regardless. Yes, tomorrow morning a construction worker will be coming, and an interior designer. She's quite fabulous. I had to decorate my own rooms myself. She makes wonderful curtains of many colours. And there is also the question of furniture. There is some furniture currently present, but she will be able to purchase you something better should you wish. Currently, the house is outfitted for 6. I do not know if this will be appropriate for you, but there is also a large office as well as a kitchen and diner. Perhaps this... Amon seemed to think it fitted you perfectly, but frankly, the man's got no sense of decorum or interior design, so I'm sure you'll want to make some changes, especially for the lady, and the armoire in there is not large enough for any person of sensible fashion. Is there anything else that I can be doing for you?
I came to, he mentioned getting set up as getting my company set up as a real company.
Yes, he didn't even know the name of the mercenary company. He just said Dragonborn. Well, you know what he's like. Yes, I will need to take some details, if you don't mind, please. First of all, the name of your mercenary company.
The White Dragons.
The White Dragons. And have you ever been registered in any other cities?
Not officially.
Not officially. That is pretty much the line that every mercenary company has ever given me in history. I will say no. Thirdly, do you do work of disrepute? Are you willing to take contracts from, one might say, the shadier or more crass part of town? Or are you merely willing for jobs for the good? Oh, good. That is good to know. You're the first person to say yes to that for a long time. Excellent. Now, coming to the more slight details, do you have a rough estimate of the number of your men?
50, I'd probably say.
Approximately 50.
More have been added.
And are they all Dragonborn? Or shall I put assortment?
Many.
Assortment of races.
It's an
Excellent.
assortment. Many
Excellent.
are, but some are not.
Do some of you carry magical power?
Not very many of us. Maybe
Okay.
one or two.
Does this include your ability to breathe fire, sir? Some might regard that as mildly magical.
If you're including that, then yes, many can.
Some
but
Dragonborn innate powers, no mages. Correct?
No.
Excellent. So I assume none of you are registered with the Magus Arcane. Are any of you registered with the Furion Guard?
Not yet.
If you are going to register with the Furion Guard, you will need express permission from them to act under mercenary law, but it only applies to the one person under the employment of the Furion Guard, not the company in general.
Good to know.
Excellent. Marvelous. Will you be requiring quarters for your men?
That would be good.
Excellent.
That'd be appreciated.
Excellent. There is space at the guardhouse in the working district currently. They only have 6 rooms, however, so any more than that, and we will need to find separate accommodation for you. There are guardhouses outside of the city that you may use with express permission. Lastly, you will need your key. He hands you a sort of a key, and he says, "The key does not unlock anything. I know, it is a very strange custom. This is the second key I've been handed today that does not unlock anything. Quite impractical, if you ask me. Documentation is far better. Regardless, you will need your key. This states that you are the sole owner of the Frostborn mercenaries. Is that correct?"
Indeed.
One mentions here that your brother is somewhat indisposed. Is he also a part owner, or will he be your second in command?
He is my second in command.
Excellent. Your next of kin? Also the brother?
None.
No.
Yes, my brother is.
In the situation that you should fall, in any manner, who is it you would like to pass ownership of the mercenary company to?
To my brother.
And
To my brother, if I can.
And if he is also a little worse for wear?
I'll have to look at them. It's most of my best men have been, shall we say, indisposed.
It can be customary to leave this to a family member or friend and allow the management to be run from within. This is merely for a profit basis. Is there anybody in particular that comes to mind? Perhaps one of your friends here?
Gideon or Keo probably are the only ones I'd truly trust.
Well, there's a fucking revealing statement. I love it.
Did I feel offended?
Probably not in your case, or Roscoe's, to be fair. I wouldn't leave
That's my
anything to you
point.
guys. Very well.
I think
this...
doctors, doctors, I don't know what he would do.
No, that much is true. Does this Keo have a surname?
No.
Well, that's not going to narrow it down very much, is it? Race?
He's a kobold.
Oh, well, that does narrow it down. Is he within the city?
Yes, he's training.
Perhaps we will register him as a... He's training, you say? The Major Sarkane?
He's training with... No, he's training with a gnomish fellow, I believe.
Sicris, Master Sicris. Training with Master Sicris. Oh, wow.
Master Sicris.
Well, he's a strange one, quite unusual, a little unreliable, if you ask me, but regardless. May he train well. On which note, I think that is all of the details I need. There is only one last thing. Should you be indisposed or unreachable, where would you like the money to be kept of any proceeds of the mercenary company?
If I can get it sent to the same safe that my brother had, that would be probably the best.
Excellent. 12242140. Excellent. Well, that's about everything. I will send you a copy of this documentation and to the home that we have recently secured you. Will that be to your liking?
Yes.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Is there anything else I can do for any of you? Are you registered citizens here? Hello? Will the rest of you die?
Yes?
Okay, excellent. Are you a registered citizen, my lady? Just say no. Excellent. I have some questions then. I will need to take your full name, please.
Wait, who?
You,
Or
okay.
who?
You, okay. Your full name, please.
Oh, Valadrin.
No surname?
No, elf. I'm an elf. We don't need something.
Most ambiguous. They at least normally have some sort of house name, but... Well, regardless, I shall put Validrin. Race elf? Is that correct?
Yep.
Excellent. Origin. Place of birth?
Kerfan.
Cawthon. Excellent. Well, you've upgraded, my lady. Congratulations. And next of kin.
My mom.
Mother. Where would we find said mother? Does she have a name?
Kerfan and... Give me a second, I'm pulling up my notes.
That's right. You can supply it. We'll assume she applied the name, and at which point... Oh. Your mother, not your father?
Yep.
Excellent. I shall make careful note of that. It is... Well, regardless. Thank you very much. Approximate age?
20?
And your occupation?
Mercenary.
Oh, I see. Do you work for this one?
Nope. Just hanging out.
Most unusual. It's not my place to ask questions. Very well, your documentation is taken, and to you. And she will turn to Roscoe. Are you a registered citizen, sir? Try unmuting your mic.
Oh, that helps, yeah. No, I'm not.
No, not a registered citizen. My goodness, what a ragtag band we have before us today. Okay, very... Oh! Who's that? At this point, Gideon walks through the door. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was struggling to find you. Blah, blah, all that rubbish. Very well, sir. I'll take your details in a moment. Well, anyway. Your name, please? This is you, Jamal.
Name's Roscoe.
Roscoe?
Stonebridge.
Roscoe Stonebridge. Excellent. Origin?
Origin?
Place of birth, dear.
Let me check my map real quick.
Somewhat outside Jastern is what you're going for.
Yes.
We'll assume you gave the name of a village. Very well. Race halfling, correct?
Yep.
Excellent. Next of kin?
None known.
In the situation of your unfortunate demise, whom would you like your possessions left to?
For the time being, we'll just go with charity.
How kind of you. Excellent. So about charity? Any particular charity? Or the homeless, perhaps? A good cause?
Yeah.
Excellent. The homeless. Excellent. Fantastic. And, do I need to ask occupation?
Much like the others, right now.
Mercenary. And you don't work for him, correct?
No.
Excellent. Right. Oh my goodness, what is this? There's more people coming into my office. I can't... I'm going to run out of tea. This is awful. He knocks over to Keo, who is currently being escorted in.
Keo.
The guard said he sent Gideon here, and I just followed. Hope that's okay. I wanted to find you guys.
Of course.
Young man, your name? Keo. Oh, the same Keo?
Yes.
Young man, do you have a surname?
Keo.
She says. Yes, Keo Talidrin. Oh, okay. Spelled the same way as... No. Taelladren. Excellent. And, your origin, your place of birth, if I might ask. Keo looks up. The Underdark? I don't suppose you want the address. No, okay, very well. Of kobold origin, I shall put. You are a kobold, is that correct? Is that how you identify? Yes, yeah, that's me. And your age, please. 106. That's a reveal for you guys. Very well, and your occupation? Yours says, willing servant. He looks up.
He owns a store.
Don't fuck with me. Oh, sorry, I thought that was naming the next NPC, Roscoe. I was like, I'm not having Roscoe talking to Roscoe. I'll pick up on that in a second. I was like, I'm not having NPCs named after players. Cannot cope with that. Brain does not work that well. Regardless. We'll get there in a second. Excellent. And your next of kin? Okay, here goes. Him. Points to Glacius. Excellent. There is only one problem with that. If this young man was to, unfortunately, also suffer a demise, it would seem that the two of you would be leaving your items to each other. Is there a particular third person? Okay, looks around. The Lady Villitran. Very well. Okay. Excellent. Thank you very much. I shall take note of that. And you are now a homeowner, I believe. Your name was listed on the property deed. Sorry? Your name was listed on the wait. Ah, you're the one I also have this for. It would seem you now own 2 homes. Keo sort of looks down. I've never had a home, and now I have 2? I can't live in 2 homes. No, but you will be welcome in both of them, I'm sure. Regardless, here are your deeds, and he hands Kyo a folder so large that Kyo actually physically can't carry it, and it drops to the floor.
I'll carry it for him.
Excellent, and they are the deeds to his shop. Very well, and then he looks to Gideon. Your name? Gideon Dawnstar. Oh. Well, that's a registered citizen, whether you knew it or not. Yes, we have all your details, thank you very much. If the group of you would like to proceed... or are there anything else? Is there anything else I may do for you?
I think that's everything.
Well, one more case in matter. I've been appointed your personal lawyers. Lucky me. Should you have any troubles of the legal variety, or perhaps be looking to expand in business, or perhaps open any new shops, do come by. I would prefer not to have to bail you out of the local jail. The name is Percivilius. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, and for reference, I do not work directly for Amon, though he thinks otherwise. I am a lawyer in my own right. I even pay for my own tea selection, at which point he looks over and... Which one of you? I had quite a lot of tea before you all entered this room. Roscoe, did you steal the tea?
No.
Adrian, did you steal the tea?
Don't think so.
Good. Glacius, did you steal the tea?
I've been talking too much to steal anything.
Oh, that's right. It wasn't Kyo. And it wasn't Gideon.
Doctor.
Oh, Doctor's not with you. Oh.
Or...
We seem to have a... Alright, I'm sorry. And Amon is standing behind him. I just wanted to check everything was done properly. I'll leave. Sorry for the tea. He was stood there all the time. Kyo looks really confused for a second and looks over and... Oh. Maybe I shouldn't wear these glasses all the time. I didn't even realize you people didn't know he was here. Oh. That's different. How sneaky. And, as Amon walks off down the corridor, clearly to some other business, Percival is concluded with you. Well, if you are interested in the tea, this tea is particularly wonderful. He hands you lemon and ginger. I purchased it at Teas and Tinctures. It's a new store opened recently by a couple under the name of Hidakane. They make excellent tea. You should visit. Now, for those of you who've missed the reference, Hidakane was the name of the old tea lady who gave you the book.
Yes.
Oh.
So there's the connection. In case the name seemed really pointless to hand you. And, yes, well, I suppose you have a busy afternoon. But please, first of all, just check the houses to your liking.
Of course. Thank you for all your help.
As you walk out of the courthouse, you will find a guard waiting for you. Are you people...
can I stop by the safe?
Yes, sorry, yes, straight to the safe. Of course you can. Yep, and as you open the safe, you're a little surprised. There are rubles in here. Approximately 10,000. There are also 22 golden ingots, which are highly illegal. They are, however, in a bag, but how you're meant to transport them, I have no idea.
Wait,
I kind of asked Kyo. I'm like, Kyo, can you come here for a second?
Yeah?
Can you open your bag of holding?
We're gonna give him the illegal substance.
Okay.
I'm putting it in a bag of holding, and then I'm going to take his bag of holding, so that way I'm not giving Kyo illegal items.
Is it fair to... Hold on. Yeah, but he doesn't want to give them to Roscoe. He wants to keep them to himself. So, yeah, Kyo will open the bag of holding. Give me a strength check. Just one.
Alright. It's just flat, so... that's another nat 20.
See? Alright. Okay, well, at this point, you're picking them up and flicking them in. You are able to secure all 22 golden ingots. The rubles, which I think I said was 12,500, is that correct?
I thought you just said it was 10,000.
Yeah, 10,000, you're correct. Sorry, because I've just seen what the other thing is. And you have 25 perfectly cut rubies in a small bag.
You're smart, brother. I put that in the bag of holding and I just take the rubles. And then I ask, is it all right if I carry the bag of holding? I don't want you to get in trouble for having the other bag in there.
Yeah, that's okay, but they're less likely to search me. Why don't we get back to the house?
That's probably a more suitable idea.
And then he gestures towards the bag of holding, which disappears on his pouch, and that's why they're unlikely to search it. Fairly simple trick. He's got no normal bag of holding. And yes, to explain, gold itself is no longer available in Sogravia. Worked gold is still purchasable and sellable if it was worked prior to the war. However, mining gold is completely illegal, and producing it in ingot form is also completely illegal. Well, obviously mining gold is not illegal, it's impossible. But if you have gold and you have it in ingot form, you're meant to turn it over to the king. Okay. And as you come out, the guard is waiting for you. And Roscoe, just before you get out, you bend down to see a small bag somebody's left upon the floor. And being you probably pick it up, right?
Yeah, I did
cool.
pick it up.
Roll me a D100.
Oh, we're on this moment again. Right. $68.
Probably should have talked to Amon about that.
Wand of Accelerated Assembly. It rapidly builds a 2x3 foot cabinet at the target location. The cabinet has the same properties as a bag of holding, but cannot be transported. Using the wand again will build an all-new cabinet that does not have access to the contents of the previous cabinets. 20 charges.
That's actually really useful.
We can get a dead body in there.
Especially considering the fact that we're going to our new house where we don't have cabinets.
Imagine, you've just got furniture. Congratulations.
We got magic furniture now.
That is 20 charges for good, by the way.
Right. Okay.
Not 20 charges temporarily. Well, excellent. As you exit, the guard was waiting for you. Well, I see you've now managed 24 hours in the Noble District. It is now time to get you out of here. Unless any of you have any further arguments. You all have legal documentation to stay in the city now.
Yeah. I think we'll be going for now.
I don't want to see you here again unless you have proper documentation.
Glacius is just going to slyly smile and then pull out his note. He's going to be like, is this enough for you?
Oh. I see. You will no longer be bothered. Welcome to the Noble District. He walks away.
Thank you very much.
You're free to go where you please. Unless it's a shop, at which point I will send you nowhere. Go to the house. We're on a timer here.
Oh yeah, new house.
Okay, as you arrive...
Should we go visit our house?
Should we go visit... Sorry, visit what?
Our new house?
Oh, right. Yes, you should.
I'm just asking the group. Make sure
I've decided you are going to the house. So, as you enter Winter Way, 17 Winter Way, in fact. Winter Lane, sorry. 17 Winter Lane. And you come up to the front of the door. It is a large wooden, relatively nice looking door to a fairly large house. It is well structured and well built. Good brickwork. But as you open the door, it's in a little bit of disarray. It's been cleaned, you can see that, but the carpets are old. The furniture is old, some of it's a little mildewy. And there is a large note on top of the sofa.
I pick it up and I read it aloud.
Okay, it says, I have arranged for Percival, I have arranged for a furniture provisioner to arrive tomorrow morning, and an interior designer. Apparently the Lord Amon is willing to pay for these. Enjoy at your wish. Percivilius.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
So you can furnish it at your own expenses, and you will go upstairs and find that there are 6 comfortable, large-sized rooms. Downstairs you find one large office room with a sort of golden plaque. It's not actually gold, it's painted. It's currently blank, and is there for the engraving. And as you enter there, it is the only room that is very well appointed. It's clear this room has been done up for you. You see a large marble flooring with an excellent bureau, and a large desk behind it with 2 small chairs in front. 2 cabinets at either side, and a sort of back desk, which has 2 drawers. Upon opening the drawers, you will discover that they can contain any number of things, and they can be locked quite easily by turning the handle over. So they are lockable, extendable drawers. Upon the desk, you see a letter written in beautiful cursive. And as you read it, it says, "I heard you were getting new accommodation. I am glad that Amon saw sense. I argued for you to be in the noble district, but I hope this will do for you for now. Apparently the tavern next door serves excellent food, and looks after adventure as well. I hope that you find this room to your liking. I took the liberty of designing it myself. You'll find that many of the different parts of the room have magical properties, and most importantly, if you put your finger on the gem at the bottom of the mirror, you will be able to contact me directly. I hope that you do not abuse it too much, and that we can become friends, perhaps on a night out. ! Yours sincerely, Lady Azeldria."
Oh, I thought that was Amon for a second.
Amon's not going to furnish a house for you, don't give a fuck. He'll do what he can tell someone else to do.
Okay, listen, I have 22 bars of gold ingots that I have to get rid of, and he's the only one I know who knows anything of what to do with it, so...
yeah, he'll know how to sell them.
I'm just going to give it to the king. I'm not going to give it to the king, I'm not going to get anything out of it.
You can sell them to Amon. Yeah.
If they're in ring form, are they legal?
Yes, but it would make approximately 200 rings per bar.
It's a lot of work, but that's a way to make them legal.
It's true. You do have somebody who can.
Rings, job done.
Yeah, you do have somebody who can do that. But regardless, we will end our episode on you taking rest in your new home, where hopefully Gideon will find you. No, Gideon's with you. Gideon's with you, having spent the night in the temple. We will assume that you also managed to go to the temple and see that your brother was not better yet, but he looks a little healthier. And we will come to our MVPs. I come first to Akai.
Come back to me later.
I come secondly to Jamal.
I had a few moments here, but for me, it's gotta be everything that happens to my characters when they get fucking drunk. Any character,
Yep.
you know what happens.
Well, you're a halfling and you drank the same as everybody else. You deserve to be hammered. On any honourable mentions? You mentioned you had a few things. We've got only 3 of you, so we've got a little bit more time here.
Just the throwing around of the fucking money and just everything to do with elven ability, not knowing how to do things in the human world, and the absolute clusterfuck that happens as a result.
The Lady Azeldria was one of my favourite characters to write, so I hope that she came to life as I hoped she would. She just sort of
it was amusing.
Doesn't see the sense of this.
I was wondering what happened to her.
What do you mean?
When we came into the city, I thought she was still with us.
No. She had left it very early in the morning to get back to her royal duties with her escorting guard. She didn't drink herself silly, but you may find the Lady Clary later on. Her father will be a bit pissed off at losing his daughter as his barmaid, but apart from that, Darth, MVPs.
I also have a couple. The biggest one was I really liked everything that happened in just like the business office, but then Kyo saying that Glacius and Val were both like the 2 people that he trusted, but I also did like Glacius, like, you know, just being like the only people I really trust to run my company if I were to die and my brother were to die are Kyo and Gideon.
It's fair.
And the fact
it's
that we all just agreed that Val and Roscoe would just be like, you know, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Roscoe would tell them to do something that they weren't meant to be doing, and I think Val will probably just not care enough. Like, she's got more important things in her mind. But I could be wrong. I may have read Akai's character incorrectly. Akai, your MVPs.
I like it when the guard was like, okay, we're kicking you out. And Glacius was like, hold up, I got paperwork.
It's always a good
I was
moment.
a little mad that I couldn't do anything when Q was starting to get thrown out. So that was like my
Revenge.
F you to the
yes.
guard moment.
Yeah.
Hate the guard.
Yeah.
Well, they're very careful, but Qual is specifically a fairly good fighter. You will find that although you can access a noble district, you will still be asked occasionally what you are doing in a certain place. It's not like, you know, you can just roam around for free, but you've got access now. Couple of MVPs for me. The attention you guys pay to Kyo is wonderful. I'm so glad that we've created someone that is worth you being attached to, but it creates such a bond between the group, I think. Like, it's fair to say that I think most of the players seem to care more about whether Kyo survives, about whether each other survive. And that's that's really quite lovely that it's just a little NPC that has become so important.
Yeah.
I loved the sort of the emotional moments of sort of Glacius finding his brother, Gideon, before we lost him sadly this evening. His power went out, by the way. Before we lost him, his moments with the temple room and the priest Sebastian. Akai sort of complete, no, he can fuck off to her father. That was brilliant. It was just, there was no line. It was just, no, he can leave. He can fuck off. I have no interest in that prick. And Roscoe's sort of...
Didn't even get to finish what he was saying either.
Yeah, no, I know. And Roscoe's sort of abundance of questions and complete misunderstanding of how little of a shit Kiliana gave about how he went about his quest. She was just like, just get it done. I don't care. So yeah, those are my general MVPs. I think my overall MVP definitely has to go to the sort of mild response to Amon walking through a wall. That made me really happy. I always like surprising people, but when it's the mini surprises that really make me happiest. So that brings us...
Still want that trick.
Good luck. That brings us to the end of our episode, and we might... No, we're not going to be raiding tonight. So if you guys would like to say goodbye, we shall conclude there.
Yep. Catch you next
Bye.
time.
Adios.
Obviously, we same time, same place next week. And if you want to catch the evil part of our campaign in the same world, where they will also be visiting Justern. Hi, Heather! Love you! You will find us at 4 p.m. EST tomorrow. Azrael8695, thank you very much for the Prime sub. Welcome to the Quack Pack for the first month. May you enjoy your stay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll see you all soon.